J2K and I. Gentlemen, how are you doing tonight?
I am doing just lovely. Glad to be here, and glad you guys in chat could join us.
Yeah, I'm doing okay. I think I've washed this loss off of me enough to actually witness it again. Try to be objective, not too emotional about it, although it's hard not to considering the outcome of this game and the way we played. Still, I think it's going to be a great time. Happy to chop it up with you guys, and shout out to the chat. You guys always show up and support. I always appreciate you guys. So thank you for being here.
Atmos, Larry T, Cliff Victoria, James Ford, Leo
Factor 1.
What's up, Leo Factor? Good to see you again, my man. It's been a while.
Larry T. Yes, guys, thanks for joining us.
If anyone hasn't seen my rant from last night, I would highly encourage you to do so. Even though PJ's butt hurt that he wasn't involved in it. And he keeps telling me on the side, like, I'm offended. You didn't ask me. But I had to have that. It had to be my own time. I had to get that off my chest for almost 2 hours.
He had a lot of stuff on his chest to get off.
No, it was a lot of fun hanging out with chat. Just the chat really got me going with everything, and because everyone has a lot of great stuff to say in chat, and we all feel the same way about this team. And I think tonight's going to be I think tonight will be like a little bit of it'll further the healing process, perhaps not. It might enrage us more, it might not.
Might open some new wounds.
Yeah.
Pour salt in them. No.
Yeah, and lime. But either way, we're going to have a little bit of fun breaking this down tonight. We're going to try not to make it too ridiculously long. I know how that I'd like to think that we're a little more seasoned, PJ, right?
Yeah, a little
bit. I don't know. We'll
maybe
see.
Worth 1 or 2 minutes worth.
Yeah, maybe like a minute and a half.
Yeah.
Difference?
So instead of it being 3 hours, it'll be 2 hours and 58 minutes.
Yeah, something like that. Or 6 hours will be like 5 hours and 57 minutes or something.
Yeah.
I would love to get to the guys in chat questions right now. We got fire or no fire. That is the question. 17-10 Tampa. Who cares about what's going on right now in the Monday night game? When someone proposed a trade, trading Keelan Allen to the Bucs since they lost Mike Evans to IR, I'd say do it. I'm interested to see how we come out the end of the second half of the schedule. Arizona gave a blueprint on how to whoop us. Yep. Let's see if Flus can improve on that run defense. Lots of good stuff from you guys in chat. Keep it coming as we break this ALL-22 down. I think that we should start right now because
let's go.
This does get lengthy, right?
Yes, it does. Especially when we got to rewind and emphasize a play.
Yeah. So I'll just keep my cursor there because I think that we saw some good things happen to start this game off, right? Terrell Smith started over Tyreek Stevenson, and he had a pretty good couple of series in the beginning, right? I think we'll see that here in the beginning. So you as a defensive guy, PJ, like, I'm just curious, what are you seeing here? Like, how are you feeling at this point?
If you want to rewind that, you don't have to rewind it because it shows a different angle too, correct? Shows the backward, the behind angle too.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. All right.
Oh,
pause it right here. Me and J2K talked about this a little bit before the show. Just Tremaine Edmonds. I'm watching him and I'm paying attention to him because to me, it seemed like he's been really lacking the last few games. So I'm really curious to see where is he at on this play because it was a gain of 4 yards. So now, mind you, we are in a one gap system. Keep that in mind. So I'm thinking he's supposed to be in that A gap between the center and the guard on the right side. I think that's his gap that he's responsible for. I don't know for sure yet, but let's see what happens to Tremaine.
Yeah, and our conversation before the show was about gap responsibility and integrity. And I noticed a few guys taking the same gap, which when we get to the long touchdown run at the end of the half, that was an issue. And it happened a couple of times this game. Yeah. I'm just not sure who is responsible for it because, two guys in one gap, one of them's wrong, right?
Exactly.
I mean, these two defensive series were probably the best of the game. So we might as well just break down these two defensive series, right?
Well, I mean, again, Tremaine, I'm not liking the way he's flowing to the ball either, because it seems like he's hanging back and not pressing the hole. As you see, the flow is going, and where is he at?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's getting blocked up pretty quickly. And, they're hitting us all with single blocks, and not a lot of people are getting off them. It looks like 53, Edwards is the only one who got off his block with, what is that, number 69 following, 63 trailing him. So, I mean, they blocked us up pretty well in this game, but we didn't do ourselves any favors with our gap integrity. This was decent. This is what Flus talks about. Staying in your gap and going laterally, but you don't see many wins outside of this. You can see all the helmets are all on the outside of our players. Number 90's got a good position.
Yes.
But
and that's the thing about this one with number 90, Robinson. This is his first game playing.
Yeah. And so that's his run defense. He does well in that regard.
Yeah, he did well on that run defense there, because the cornerback being Jalen Johnson, he came up to set the edge and kind of slowed down the play. That was his responsibility there. Mm-hmm. He comes up and set the edge, and that what causes everybody else to then the running back have to cut back in, and everybody else can flow to the ball.
So is this 90 in the game still here? We'll find. Oh, this was such a good play though.
Yeah.
Right there. I mean,
laying out that ball.
And then laying him out. I feel like the defense, like they all talked about this before the game. We're like, yeah, let's give them the first couple of series. Then we're just going to take
This is a special package if you look at it.
Yeah.
You got Dexter playing end. You got Walker right next to him. Then you basically have look like what's his name? Taylor. He's playing the stand position, kind of like a Mike. And then you got Booker on the other end.
Wide 9.
Yeah, a wide 9. Yeah.
Yeah, very wide.
Look at that gap there.
What I noticed in this game just overall is how spread out our D-line was, which I think was an issue as far as run containment. I'm not sure if this was a byproduct of missing Sweat, so that's why they put Dexter on the outside to kind of create a little more containment.
I don't know. When it comes to defense, I'm going to rely on you guys, because you got PJ. You're just defensive oriented. You got lots of family playing it. You're talking with former NFL coaches and stuff. So and J2K, you're just overall well-rounded with this stuff. Me, I'm a little bit more of an idiot when it comes to defense, because I'm looking at like all the ways I could beat you with that last front that we just showed with that wide 9.
T formation.
Yeah.
What's interesting, I really like the way we started this game out on defense, because it was very exotic, and we blitzed a lot, and moved guys around, and I liked it on paper, but man, once the gap integrity fell apart, that was the big issue.
Yeah, and I was wondering when I was again just in conversation with J2K before the show, just piecing things together. I'm wondering, did it change because Tyreek came in the game? Did their attitude change? Because it seemed like once he came in the game, the defense kind of like, Because to your point, I mean, the first couple of series.
On the sideline, he was really cheering on Smith.
Yeah, right.
And
I
he
mean,
looked like he was being the model citizen and stuff.
yeah, had
So,
the earpiece in and everything.
yeah, listening to plays, being
Yeah.
active. So, I always think that, it was somebody makes a mistake, you punish them. How do they respond? That's what's most important, right?
Yeah.
If he keeps responding with a positive attitude and all that, even if he makes mistakes in the game, as long as he's a good teammate and he's focused,
Great.
I'm okay with it.
Because Terrell Smith was not taken out because of injury to begin with, right?
Correct. He was
Right.
just, they were on
Rotate.
a rest or a rotation kind of a thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, I heard just today, listening to what was it Lance Briggs or Greg Gabriel? I can't remember. They said that during practice on last Wednesday, Tyreek was told he wasn't going to start then, and he walked out of practice, but then came back in practice.
Yeah, but it was overblown on Twitter, social media.
Okay.
He took 2 minutes just to like take a breather, and they came right back. It actually didn't interrupt practice. It was prior to the actual walkthrough. So they talked to him before the walkthrough. He said, "Okay, give me a minute." Came back 2 minutes later, did the walkthrough. It was a little overhyped, but shout out to Courtney Cronin for breaking the real story and kind of putting that fire out. So.
Leo Factor, we're about to see an excellent Sanborn play on this next drive that Arizona has when he stops him on the goal line. And I remember thinking when I saw him on that play, like, wow, this kid, his motor doesn't stop, because he went down, he just got right back up, still took the defender out. It's the image that's in the thumbnail of the description of the channel. It's Connor getting tackled when his legs are up in the air. On that play,
Whoa.
On that play, Sanborn fell down or got hit, knocked down, got back up, and still was able to make the tackle and stop him from getting a touchdown on that play. But I really didn't see him sticking out too much more after that. So this is the first offensive series of the Bears, and I mean,
it's a good play call here. Isolated the zone with a little curl there, quick pass on the first play, get them in rhythm, keep it easy. And I thought Larry Borum actually played pretty well at the beginning of this game. I was really focused on how he would play. One thing I want to point out, you'll see in a minute here. Arizona Cardinals do not respect our O-line. At times, they would just send 3, and then other times, they would send everybody.
Yeah. I noticed that as well during the game. Yeah. And you would think that when they sent everybody, there would be somebody open, right?
Yeah, I think if you want to look back at that play there, the one that we just did, watch Larry Borum's head, where his head is on the block. Now you see the running play is going to go to the left, so you want to have your head on the left side, basically to where the guy can't cut back. So you want to try to push. You want to push him to our right.
Mm-hmm.
And what happens is his head get caught on the wrong side, and he started holding the guy.
Oh, right there.
Well, the guy kind of peeled off, but yeah.
Yeah, he was kind of holding him there, though.
Yeah.
He had him initially, but that's probably hand placement was the issue.
So if you can keep your head on that side to where you're making sure he doesn't out leverage you, because that's what happens, because that's how you end up holding, because then he switches. So the best way to block is to move that hip. Wherever you move that hip, the body will follow.
Right.
Larry T saying, keep an eye on Kmet and how he's unused, underused, or how he's used, underused. And that's a good point. We should make sure that we're doing that throughout this, because it is pathetic how underused he was, right?
Right. I agree. No targets, right?
My only statement on that is that Caleb is the one who decides who catches the ball, or who the target is. So
he's open right there.
Yes, and the play is to the left. You look at Caleb's.
He's looking at the
helmet.
left.
So,
He's looking over to the left.
Yeah.
Now
So he's
looking
reading
at
the
him.
coverage. He's trying to keep the safeties. Now, sure, he should hit this, but who's getting wide open here? And Caleb's got a great pocket. Well, 3 guys are rushing because they don't respect our offensive line. We got Keenan Allen coming right over the center, and Caleb's just a little bit late here. And great ball placement, but it's just, oh man, a little late.
If you would have thrown it right here.
Yeah, that little hitch. He's resetting his feet a little bit.
Yep, right there. Yeah, that
And
was
also, Keaton could have flattened out a little bit more too. That may not be exactly the route design, but once you're seeing that opening in that zone, you go to that opening. You don't just go to where the route tells you perfectly to go.
Yeah.
So you can see Keenan going upfield a little too much.
The regression is astounding, really. You go from they were kind of trying. It looked like they were finding their way in that 3-game winning streak with the intermediate passes. They were Caleb was finding them.
Yeah. And
to me, this whole game overall felt like the entire team giving up on the coach as I'm watching it in real time. And rewatching it now and seeing it, boom, he's looking right at it. Like, how could he not? How could he not?
I do agree with Bearsky Films in the chat about mismanaging this O-line. I think in this game, you're witnessing exactly what happens when you don't have the depth, you don't have the starters. As good as your wide receiver core is, top 5 tight end, 3 top wide receivers, it doesn't matter,
Mm-hmm. Man, it's in the beginning of the game, it felt like we were like a play like that was missed a lot in these first couple of drives. And I think we had 3 straight penalties at one point, or 3 penalties on one drive, or
yeah.
And it's like they're just shooting themselves in the foot, and that's why it just felt like it was preconceived. I know that's kind of conspiracy theory shit, but
look how quickly they get through our offensive line. 4 versus 5, and it's instantaneous.
I think it was a bad offensive line call, meaning that they shifted to the left and had a free runner on their right side.
Right.
So yes. It was whoever made the offensive line call. I'm assuming it's Shelton, the center. He had the guy shift along the wrong way.
Yeah. And what do you do when they blitz from that side? Look at 85. We'll throw at the blitz. But
yep.
Yeah.
But I mean, look how good Caleb is. He could run upfield like that, and he bounces back, keeps the pocket, stays in it. Had he kept going, there's no play whatsoever. And what's he do? Finds a receiver.
Right.
And look, I like Justin Fields when he was here, but that's a difference, right? That's something we're witnessing.
Well, I you know me, I'm going to defend Justin.
No, yeah,
I thought he started getting better towards the end.
Yes.
Of doing that, especially
I think
when you go
Justin would have gotten just as many yards on the play. I think he would have just beelined it, and it's a difference, not a critique.
Yeah, right. I agree.
Yeah, right.
I think that was the word PJ uses.
Man,
but so far this isn't horrible.
I know. That's what I'm. That's why I went, man, because I'm just thinking this is right here was like
that was horrible, Larry. Right. I mean, not Larry, but Darnell Wright. Yeah, Darnell Wright. He beat him. He did a spin move on him and made him look bad. Yeah.
Yeah. And this is a play that's been talked about a lot because this is the play that DJ at the very top. So number 2, he's at the 40 or 35 yard line right there. And you'll see he takes another step and he completely rolls his ankle.
Yeah.
And this is, really debated because he comes back and then he's like, quarterback's going out of bounds. He steps out of bounds. He's no longer an eligible receiver. And now he's limping off the play. And the play is still going on.
My cousin was bitching about this. He's like, he's sitting on the bench by the time the play is over. I'm like, and I saw this when I was recording it. I was like, oh yeah, but I was like, did he come back in the next play? No, but he did the next one after that. So I don't know.
The very next play, I would say, actually, my opinion is, I can't see it in this the ALL-22, but in the broadcast, I don't think Keenan Allen actually pushed off, or if he did, it was minor, because his arm never extended.
Right.
And what I thought he did is he gave more of a head fake to the cornerback, and the cornerback bit on it, and it just looked bad because now Keenan's going the opposite way the cornerback is.
My question is that a penalty to go out of bounds on your own? I know it is on
a kickoff, yes. In the actual play on offense, you're no longer an eligible receiver.
Yeah, I know, but what I'm saying is the fact that he didn't attempt to come back on the field, is that a penalty? Because
just walked off.
Yeah, because I'm wondering if they would have made an interception and then he comes back in then, and they say, well, you're supposed to come back in as soon as possible, as opposed to, waiting.
He would have to establish himself on the field. So, okay. I mean, if he did hobble off and then he came back onto the field, he'd have to get 2 feet in bounds and establish.
Yeah, he'd have to have a certain amount of football moves on the field again to be. Right.
But if he's out of bounds and say the ball is fumbling around and he takes 1 step in and then touches the ball, the other foot's
I ain't
off
talking
the
about
ground,
touching the ball. I'm talking about he don't get an interception, him coming back on the field and making a tackle. Well, they then try to say he's in some type of violation. Is what I'm getting at.
I think as long as he establishes himself back on the field prior to making a play on the ball.
Okay.
I think so.
Okay.
But I do wish that DJ didn't walk off the field. He could have just stand there and kept his the DB on him. So I think he's in this play. So he rolled his ankle, came off, and then he came back on the next play. But if you watch, if you go back to that other view, you can see he doesn't start off on the foot that he rolled. So he's there.
He's right there on the top left of the screen.
Right. So he goes off the field. He does come back the very next play. So, and then you guys know, you play basketball, you roll your ankle and it hurts for a minute. You walk it off, and then all of a sudden you're like, hey, I feel fine. I can play. And then you get home an hour later, you got a softball size swelling on the ankle. So I think he walked this off. But if you watch this next play here,
which actually goes to him,
there's a reason that
he's there. He's just underneath Keenan. So, but he's starting off with the other foot, so he's not getting explosive off that rolled ankle. That ankle is the foot in front, and he just doesn't look quick on it though.
Yeah, he looked like he's trying.
That ends up going to a doomsday.
Oh, that's the next play is to Keenan, I think. But I mean, breaking down this play, this is what does the coverage look like here? I mean, this is a decent play. He gets the ball off. It's an intermediate throw.
I agree.
These are the kinds of things that we were seeing in the games leading up to the bye.
Yeah.
And because he gets rid of the ball so quickly that as soon as if they can just get him work in the middle of the field for the game and get him into his rhythm, his deep balls are going to come. And they just haven't been doing that consistently with him. And I don't know why.
I think he struggled with the deep ball early on, and so they went to a little more of a mid-range short passing game just to keep that rhythm going.
But then they veered away from that. It seems like they're either Caleb's not seeing it now, either he's going back to deep ball hunting himself, or the play is not. They're game planning for him to open up the field a little bit more rather than continue to build off of what they had. Right? Am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong.
This play drove me nuts watching it live.
Right.
This play drove me nuts watching it live because this was like a 15-second handoff. Ready? And here you go. Oh, no, we're done.
Yeah, I hated that play. I don't know. I saw that play and I was like, yeah, I hate it. The ball just out there.
This is terrible.
Yeah. I mean, you got guys with, man, a head start at you and nah.
These are the kinds of plays that I damn it, Samo made a great point about how when you put Khalil Herbert in the game, you're exposing yourself to strictly running the ball because he's not a good pass blocker. He's not good out of the backfield catching the ball. But these are the kinds of plays in my mind that Khalil Herbert, I mean, maybe not necessarily this ridiculous amount of time waiting for the handoff, but when Khalil makes that first step, he seems to have a better straight line burst that takes him through 3 or 4 guys.
Hold up, Shorty.
Mm-hmm.
Again, something J2K and I talked about before is about where your feet is.
Uh-huh.
Now, if he would have just took the handoff and just took off, he has a hole there. Mm-hmm. But he's stopping his feet, trying to decide which way he want to go. If he would have just kept going.
Yeah, look at him spread his feet right there.
Yeah, he like got his feet like, can I go back to the left?
Timeout 2.0, PJ.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. Khalil Herbert would take this and go. He wouldn't have done that.
And Swift, normally I've been seeing him take the ball and just take off. For whatever reason, he didn't on this play. And seemed like he had a hole to do with that on that play right there.
Tony Moy saying you're just better off using the I formation. I agree with you. Or the T formation, Tony.
Don't encourage Shorty now. Don't encourage.
No, get me started, Tony. So here's like a better view of this.
Get the ball.
Boom.
Go.
Just follow that lead blocker.
Who's Shelton blocking? What team does he play for? Or wait. Is that 75? Somebody's, I mean, like it's Jenkins. But watch what happens 75 here. Or no,
I don't know why he's guarding the backside.
Yeah, he's definitely facing the running back.
Yeah, it's like, dude, get your head on the other side of him. And
yeah, it's all he's reach blocking. He's not. Yep.
Seems like they're not following the rules of blocking. That's what it is. Because again, if you're going this way, you push your guys a certain way, then wait for that cutback lane.
Yeah.
But the thing about that cutback lane is you had 2 guys with a head start coming from the offensive left, so you didn't have a cutback lane to be able to do anyway.
Right. And you look at 75, 76, and 65 all have their head on the wrong side. 75 getting the second level, he's out leveraged.
That was a good defense against that outside zone. Seemed like they're trying to do an outside zone because everybody's going over to the right, and then the cutback lane to be back to his left. But number 7 and 43, I think, did a great job of crashing down to where there was no cutback lane.
Yeah. And I think they call this a split zone because the tight end comes up underneath as a pulling offensive lineman or whatnot.
Oh, number 14?
Yeah.
Yeah. Who does nothing on that play? It's like he was going out for a pass.
Yeah. He's running through the whole for Swift.
Yeah.
He's going to have the ball.
I'm over here, guys.
Yeah, I'm first down.
Well, yeah. What's his name? The number 79. He looked bad on that last play too. But
was that Pryor?
Yeah, Pryor. Yeah, he literally blocked nobody on that last play.
Got a bunch of air blockers.
I mean, one of the things I tell my boys is, if your assignment is to be a blocker, be it a fullback, be it a lineman, tight end, whatever, if you block no one, you have literally not done your job.
Shit. Oh man, we're in trouble, guys, because we're down. We're down offensive linemen. We didn't have enough to begin with.
Yeah.
And also, pay attention here is look how much cover zero they're playing. Man, not a safety in the center of the field. Everybody's coming.
Yeah.
They rush 3, they rush 8. You know, I mean, they have zero respect for this offensive line in this game plan for their defense.
Well, the head coach coached under Eberflus.
Yes,
when he was in
good
Indianapolis.
Friends. Yes.
So he knows, the concept there. And honestly, I can't complain about the line on this block right here because you're going to have a man free. And nobody was immediately there. As a matter of fact, Pryor did not enough of a job to stop the guy, the free rusher there, if you see.
Yeah,
because he's taking on 2 guys. So I really can't complain there. I mean, as much as I give him a hard time.
True.
I can't complain either. And it was a completed pass.
Yeah.
Although he still looked like he was, he was really hurried doing it. He was like, oh, finally I got rid of it.
That's when you got to say fire, 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 right?
Yeah. Fire, fucking fire, fucking fire.
Right here. Who's open? Like, who's open out there?
True. Good point.
Cover 1. Man, the argument in the beginning of the season is Rome Odunze on the 3rd cornerback is, he's going to be wide open. Keenan Allen, he just gets open versus zone. DJ Moore, he gets open versus man. Well, I mean, who's the Cardinals secondary? Who do they got? Well, apparently they're playing man up, cover 1, cover 0, and
well, honestly, what the problem is with this play, the problem is
everyone's deep.
Everyone's going deep. You have no short route.
Yep.
Right. It is max protect. So now, I don't totally blame this play call here. They're sending the house. We're in max protect. This is the reason why Cole Kmet didn't get any targets. He's a blocker most of this game. But who's winning out there?
No one.
Against man coverage. Even Rome versus their 3rd cornerback isn't winning on them. So
DJ Moore should have cut to the hash.
No, bro, he can't do that. Your route is to go outside, and the guy played outside leverage on him. So that was good defense. He's supposed to do an out, and the guy basically out leveraged him, so he couldn't do it.
Right.
And then the safety is rotating to where, again, even the safety up there guarding it, is that who is that? No, at the 35 right now. Who is that? At the 35.
Oh, Keenan. Keenan's the slot.
Okay, Keenan in the slot. See, the safety rotates over to where he's going to – the guy got outside leverage on him, so the opening would be in the middle. But the safety's rotating over, so therefore he can't necessarily cut in because that's an interception waiting to happen. So
well said, Larry.
Darnold Wright's over his feet there, trying to get to the edge.
Yeah, that's bad right there.
Who's to blame on this? Is this play calling right here?
I don't think so. I mean, you call a man beater, and no one beats their man.
Yeah, they did that outside. Like I said, outside leverage. That's what they had on them.
Who is the defensive coordinator of the Cardinals?
Hallis, I think his name is.
Get the fuck out of here.
Hallis, I believe.
Oh,
Hallis, something like that. Because they said something in the game where his son was born the night before with the middle name of Kevin White's brother, Kaiser. His middle name is Kaiser. I forgot what his first name was. The boy that was born, but yeah, his name is Hallis, I believe.
It better not be Hallis. It's Hollis.
Okay, Hallis. I'll call it Hallis because I have a cousin last name Hollis, and it's Hollis. So that's why I call it Hallis.
Hallis with it.
Rallis. Okay, Nick Rallis. Thanks, Steve Me. Appreciate you, brother.
Thank you, Steve Me. I was about to have a mini heart attack if that was going to be Hallis. Nobody uses the name Hallis
against the Bears.
Unless you are a bear, you can't be a Hallis. It's kind of what my bitching rant last night was about. If Muggs Hallis would have just inherited the team.
Man.
And this is a good play design by the Cardinals here, because you see where these guys are and where the reads are for them.
Overload.
And then watch how this plays out.
Yep.
Guys Overload. Open, and you've got a blocker there. And that's by design. That's kind of how you set things up.
Which,
so we're playing zone, so we didn't have a guy.
Well, let me critique this a little bit here.
Yeah.
If we look at this play, now pause it right here. Tremaine, he knows that the overload is on the right side. All right. So instead of carrying the guy over to the left, he ought to pass it over to Edwards and then go over to the right where the extra man is. So go ahead and show it.
Hold on, I got to respond to Alex. Thank you, Alex. He said your rant last night was good enough. I subscribed.
It's worth it. More coming, I'm sure.
I really appreciate that. I actually got a lot of compliments on that rant today.
I got plenty more. Just wait.
All right, so this is the second view of that play.
See how he carried him over there?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And not understand or not using the leverage to his side, because now you're expecting Edwards to go all the way across the formation.
Mm-hmm. And this is when this is when things kind of start to go downhill, right? It's like after the first two defensive stops, it's like I feel like the team just deliberately gave up on the coaching staff. Like, we're going to show you, Matt. You take accountability for your mistakes.
Yeah. I like what Robinson did. He maintained his outside contain, then he went to go pursue the ball. So that's good what he did. Walker does a pretty decent job. So right there, that defensive series, I mean, that play right there, I can't complain about.
Yeah.
It's funny because I never even noticed that Robinson was in the game.
Yeah, he started.
Yeah, he's up top right now.
Yeah. And he right there, he didn't do that bad.
Right.
No, he didn't do bad.
Long arm, push the guy back.
Wish I had that thing where I could circle the players right now.
Yeah.
I'll just have to invest in that. Just more money. Yeah, because he actually does a good job there, 90.
Now, the only thing I would say about that play, though, he doesn't have outside contain to where if he would escape the pocket and went outside the tackle, that would have been Robinson's fault. See how he cuts in?
Mm-hmm.
He got to make sure the guy, you're not supposed to, make sure the guy doesn't get on the outside if you're doing a contained part.
Right.
But a good job by, is his name Smith?
Yep.
Again, keeping the ball in front of him. So I can't complain about it.
Yeah, this is okay. So this is the second defensive series,
right?
Because that was that nice stop by Terrell Smith. Terrell Smith is a baller, man.
There you go. Again, good defense.
This is when they made the pact to play these first two series well, and then.
Well, is it because Tyreek came out the game? I mean, Tyreek came in the game then?
I don't know. They started scoring right after that.
I think it was discipline that ended up hurting us the most. gap integrity. So I don't really subscribe to that the players suddenly gave up on the coach, or that Stevenson was some bad apple that infected all the other apples. I think that they started pressing, and the more they pressed, the more gap integrity diminished, and they got exposed.
What was that?
Unfortunately,
you see that? You guys see that play? Everybody started going to the left, and he just went straight ahead. I don't understand. Yeah, I don't understand that one.
On who?
The running back, because you see the line started going to the left. See, he goes straight.
Right, he's bending it back before he even knows which hole is available.
Right, he didn't press the hole to cut back.
Right, he's not influencing on the linebackers. Yeah, Swift has been making, a handful of just boneheaded decisions. He's got the talent, and I think he's a good player. It's just there's just these WTF moments with him.
And what bothers me about Swift is once he makes that cut, he loses all of his momentum. And it's just like right there, he's too low to the ground, and he's his
feet together. I mean, he had his feet like parallel instead of going forward.
Yeah, I think he thought he could bounce this outside of Allen, but Allen didn't hold that block long enough. But at the same time, just stop dancing, dude.
Right. Tony Moy, good point. Bad vision or something, because I don't know what he's seeing.
I just
showed him pressed a hole.
I envision Khalil Herbert hitting that between 85 and 13, and he's gone right there. And he's got that one guy that he might have already beaten by the time he gets through those two.
Actually, Khalil would have started to the left, and then he would have cut behind right. That's where he would have been. He would have went to the left.
Yeah, he would have followed his.
He would have went to the left, and then cut back.
Is that Mercedes Lewis missing on his block there? 84.
Yeah, really bad.
Yeah,
but Komet, that's pretty good. Stood his guy up, kept his hands inside.
What happened to Khalil Herbert? Why?
I don't know, man. There's just if you made him a Madden player, right? He would have 95 speed and 0 awareness and 0 hands. He's a one-cut runner. Doesn't offer much in the passing game or the blocking game. He got better at influencing the linebackers, but early on he would just hit the hole the way it was drawn up. Sometimes his speed would outrun the hole, so he'd actually get through the hole, outrun the defender to the hole. But there just wasn't the upside, in my opinion.
So we're looking at this play here, and it's like there is nothing.
Well, you got you got two of your receivers still in the backfield, and then you got the other three all on the same side of the field.
No, this is the Rome play. This is a great design.
Oh, is it?
So?
Yes. So, all right. Tim Jenkins broke his out. Look at Rome, Rome wide open.
And this is when he dropped. Yeah.
And what happens is look at their responsibility. I think that what is that number 2 on Arizona there?
Yeah.
And he ends up covering the same guy as the outside cornerback. The two take them here. Tim Jenkins making a great point here. Why we didn't run this formation often. We started in this formation and motioned out of it multiple times in this game. But you can see they made some glaring errors here, and we never went back to this exact formation. But it's a good play design. It really pulls everybody out. You've got 2 underneath zones, and I mean, it looks like a pure, what is this? A cover 6 zone beater? Is this like a quarter half? Let's see.
Yeah.
Because you've got 2 safeties to one side. You've got, or one corner deep, one safety.
He rotated over because nobody else was on the other side.
On their side.
Yeah, the guy
who's all these underneath zones.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this is a good play call. This really is. Look at that line blocking. Got time.
Yeah.
Hit the pass
Well, they got 7 guys back there blocking. They better be able to block 4.
Oh, yeah. Right. Well, max protect, zone beater here, high-low concepts, all that kind of stuff. I can't complain about the play call there. I actually like that one. Just you got to execute.
No, that wasn't the play, Foster. That TJ was wide open. That wasn't that play, right? The only person wide open on that play was Rome at the end there.
Right.
There is one coming up where DJ was wide open in the right on the end zone.
And I think even on this play, good ball, good play call. But, is this Keenan Allen? What's he do? He try to body catch it on the sideline instead of extending his arms? Oh, wait a minute.
This is the one he overthrew him.
No, that is the overthrow. It's a different play. But who is that? Is that Keenan?
Yeah.
Keenan Allen here?
Yeah.
And he's not getting to the spot because he's got some old legs there.
Oh, no. I'm hoping that Odunze would have pressed a little bit further upfield to where he could influence that safety a little bit more. It seemed like that because that safety was lingering, he had to make a tough throw there. Seemed like you see where Odunze is.
Mm-hmm.
If he would have just,
I have to look at the other view to see that.
There you go.
So Odunze, seemed like he's not really running hard enough or something. Kind of like he's
jogging now.
Yeah.
He's jogging and he's looking back for the ball, but he's being bracketed.
He's not selling the play.
He keeps going.
Right.
Yes. He pushes up the field. He creates more space.
Exactly.
But, had Odunze been running Allen's route, you think that could be a catch?
Yeah. I think that we're starting to see the limitations with an older, aging wide receiver who isn't number 1 anymore, right?
Well, keep playing like that. You won't be number 1. Won't be number 3 either.
Yeah.
All right. Here comes the defense.
This is where the shit starts to go downhill, guys. What's up, Steve Me? What's up, Atmos? Alex, my name. Oh, Tony Moy. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight. Was this a kickoff or was this a running play?
Yeah, it was a kickoff.
Okay. That's right. That was the nice punt return. I think this is the first score, right?
Scoring drive.
Yeah. This is when it's just the down.
Yeah, let's look at that one a little bit closer there.
Yeah.
All right. Let's look at this one a little bit closer. What are we doing here? So, pause. Where does is that Jack Sanborn I'm looking at the 37-yard line?
Yeah.
He's coming downhill.
He's coming, but he's trying to come over top. Where Edmonds, see how he down?
Oh, he overran it.
Yeah.
Right. So what gap was he running to, and why was he?
Yeah,
that point he was running towards the gap and not the running back.
Yeah, he was over pursuing.
Yes.
Because Edmonds got that side over there, so you got to be on this side over here, and he over pursued.
Yeah, that's a miss on Sand God.
On Sand God.
He is mortal.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're all mortal, huh? Isn't that's what sucks, isn't it? I get all pissed off about, some of the shit that I see in there. We all do. We get so irritated, and it's like, well, this is happening at the speed of light, pretty much.
Oh, right.
In real time.
Sure.
But this here is.
So what are you doing, Booker?
Yeah.
cutting on the inside.
It's not a broken pinata. You're not looking for
Yeah.
candy.
Yeah, you don't cut on the inside unless you got somebody to replace you on the outside. I don't know if Williams is supposed to get on the outside. Doesn't look like it though.
Yeah, I mean, loss contained. Now he's getting held like crazy,
Right.
but the containment, what are we doing?
Especially against Murray, because Murray's known to run every so often.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm surprised Murray didn't kill us with his legs a lot more.
Yeah, that's what I was worried about.
I'm right up the gut. And I mean, to give credit to the running back, I mean, man, he runs hard. He really does.
I had a discussion with the defensive line coach, and I hate when defensive ends are in a 4-point stance. I just hate it. And look at Robinson, he's in a 4-point stance, and I'm like, bro, you have no quickness in a 4-point stance.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Remember when the running backs were in all the running backs in the backfield were in 3-point stances back in the day?
Oh yeah.
Now on this play, you see Dexter just getting fooled and just ran out of the play on that. You back that up, number 99. So he's trying to stay in his gap, and the guard the tackle just takes him right out.
Yep.
That's when you got to shoot that gap.
Yeah. And who is that number?
It's getting that backfield. Shoot the gap.
And then Booker, bam, just gets blocked. Edmonds, you're right there in the hole. Clear that up.
So is Hicks.
Yeah, and Hicks got dragged down. So I mean, look, it's a good offensive play by the Cardinals. I mean, I don't know if anybody did anything wrong assignment wise on that, but
you just gotta be quicker. You know what I mean?
A lot of people they just got beat.
Stephen Me saying, James Conner's he's a great story. I remember him being drafted by the Steelers and surviving cancer in college and before coming up into the NFL with a healthy bill of health, clean bill of health. And I remember watching him just kick ass for the Steelers. And then I remember the Cardinals getting him. He is one hell of a player. You are right, Steve Me.
Yeah, for sure.
Hell of a story.
That is a really late blitz there that I don't like.
And I also don't like how Hicks plays this because what is he defending?
I think it's trying to get into cover 2. I think that's what he's trying to do is get back into cover 2.
Yeah, or cover 4, but the other safety is playing down because he's seeing everybody playing down. Well, I mean, look at the cushion, and he's got a corner who's going deep on that side covering his guy. But I mean, look at that cushion, and he's not seeing a post route coming from the outside receiver there.
Yeah, because I think what happens is instead of the linebacker taking it underneath, is that no, that was Walker. They dropped Walker in the coverage, and then they send 27 Reedy on a blitz.
Let me see it from the other angle, Dan.
Yeah.
I'm curious.
See if you watch. Pause right here.
The linebacker didn't get enough depth on this play.
No, if you look at Walker on the edge at the 17-yard line, he's going to drop back, and then Reedy, what's his name? Reedy, he blitzes on the other side at the 16-yard line right now. So therefore, when he dropped, that's what I'm saying. When he dropped,
Reddy Stewart.
Yeah, Reddy Stewart. Okay, Reddy. Yeah, he blitzes, which now that man is free. So Walker gets influenced by him to where he's now can't get the depth in front of the tight end that actually catches the ball. He's now influenced.
I don't know. I'm looking at this and I'm looking at the bracket. Looks to me like TJ Edwards and Hicks. To me, I think Walker's now playing that middle linebacker role, right?
Right.
and Reddy Stewart and what Tremaine Edmonds are both blitzing here. So right now, if you look, Stevenson's got his guy. He's match coverage there in a zone. So he's matched up as a man zone scheme here. You've got this bracketing of Edwards. He's going down for the running back, number 6. I still think Hicks plays is too high because you're not seeing a threat to cross in front of you or behind you, right? There's no other threats. Stevenson's got his guy.
Unless you're supposed to be the deep man over top for both of them. And that's why I'm thinking he's dropping all the way back because what's his name? Stevenson. There he is. Stevenson, he's watching and seemed like Hicks is trying to get over the top of him.
It just looks like Hicks played. he expected him to go deep.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, how deep is he going? And the end zone's right there. The goal line's right there. So, to me, Stevenson has his guy locked up. There's no threat there's just no other threat for Hicks. Right. Now, if this was the center of the field, I would agree more. Right.
I'm thinking because I'm watching Byard on the other side. It seems like he's there to help Johnson. So therefore, I'm wondering, is Hicks supposed to be there to help Stevens?
I think Byard's there actually to cover the other slot guy, and he takes a much shorter route. So he knows, okay, you're crossing over to where middle linebacker is, which is now Walker. And you can see he plays up more. Do we beat that horse?
Yeah, I think we did. Laz is saying defense is covering areas, not people.
And my complaint is just it's more awareness of where the end zone line is than necessarily. I bet Hicks was told like this is how you play that like cover 4, cloud blitz scheme or whatnot. But hey, there's the line's right there. The guy's not going to go 30 yards over top of you because he's only got 5 more yards to run. In this direction. Everybody goes. Hicks goes.
Tight end screen or a tight end. What is that? Tight end jet sweep.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
And Hicks just Hicks didn't see the ball, so he didn't attack the ball.
Yeah. I think I would probably sometimes I would tell my safety there on that play, blow up the guy running in motion, come up the field and blow him up.
Yes, because he's in that little window. You can put a block on him regardless. Exactly. And if he happens to have the ball, boom, you got the tackle. So, win-win there. Now, I won't get too into it, but have you guys studied any of these kickoffs from other teams and stuff?
No.
Oh, it's so interesting. The creativity that's coming out is just it's awesome, man. I implore you guys, just YouTube, kickoffs, whatever, and they'll bring up like most recent like
top NFL, top 22 NFL kickoffs or something.
Yeah, just the schemes these guys are trying to come up with and stuff, and it's great. It's very interesting. So check that out.
Another bad line call. He shifted to the left, and the guy the open runner came to the right, or the offensive line, they shifted to the right, and the guy came from the left.
Yep.
Free. Boom.
So who are we blaming this on? Is this Caleb?
I'm blaming it on the line call.
Yeah, whoever, did the line call, but
yeah.
I'm just curious who has the authority? Because you got to have one guy's got to have authority at this point, right?
It's normally the center,
right?
The center is the one who normally makes the line calls. So again, Tevin Jenkins seems like he's the one who gets caught with this a lot because of the whoever making the line calls making that play. But it's like he downs block.
You guys remember Rex Grossman? He always would have to. He was making like the calls on the mic, and the middle, the center would start pointing out the mic, and Rex Grossman would slap his hand down. That's my job. The center's like, yeah, but you're not doing it right. Oh, I miss those days.
Man, we need an Olin Kreutz, man.
Oh, we do.
We need that veteran leadership on the line like that just knows everything.
All right, let me get ready, man. Let me take off. Let me go get the jersey on.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. It's offense. Never mind.
Yeah, in that Washington game, BetUS,
yes,
the center who came from the Cowboys, man, and he was someone I really wanted, and I watched him in that game specifically, and he was that dude we needed for sure.
Was he a 6th round pick out of Wisconsin?
Yeah, he was a late round pick, but some of these centers, man, it's just attitude, you know.
Yeah. Agreed.
Yep.
Agreed.
The you can't fuck with me attitude, period.
Yeah.
It's a not wanting to lose attitude. You know, like I'm not going to let you get the best of me attitude.
It's the alpha male thing.
So what is it? This was a false start on.
Was this the one that was on
DJ?
No, it was on dang, why am I slipping names today? The tight end, the old guy.
Oh, Lewis?
Yeah. Because he did a stutter step or something like that, and that's what they called him. Because I remember that.
Right there.
He did a stutter step when he came to set.
Right there.
Yeah.
What? How was that?
That's pretty ticky tacky.
I remember when it happened. That's why I was like, man, okay. And I seen it. I was like, because I guess he made the guy think that he was very moved or something. He didn't get set or something. I don't know what it was.
But if I remember correctly, they called this false start on Larry Borum.
No, they called it on him. They called it on Lewis.
There was one that they called on Larry Borum that he didn't do jack shit on.
Well, there was one that he was lined up a little too far back. That was also.
Oh yeah, that one. Yeah, I remember that play. Yeah.
But look, the defense doesn't even know that that's a false start. They're not pointing at Lewis, going, "Ha, we got you."
58 did. 58. See, he jumped. 58 did. He came off sides. See that?
Oh, he stepped into the neutral zone and he called it on Lewis.
Yeah.
Oh, I think that's a bad call.
Right there.
But I mean, what's he supposed to do? Walk?
Well, what he did is instead of when he came over there, you guys, because I remember watching it, and he came over there and he like did a stutter step, and then 58 came into the neutral zone, and that's when they threw the flag.
Bullshit. We're getting robbed again, guys. Stephen Me saying reminds me of the Hall of Famers on the Bengals own line that protect Joe Burrow. So wait, this was a
what is this? All this action for a 1 yard pass on the boot.
Yeah.
What is Everett doing though? I'm sorry, certain things just catches my eye, and I'm just be like, "Well, what are you doing, sir?"
Oh, he's playing patty cake with 2 defensive linemen.
Right, and then he doesn't even go out to the route. It's like you're just loafing at this point. Maybe he sees that Caleb's passing the ball, and he ain't trying to do nothing else. But jeez,
right? Tries to block 2 people and blocks no one.
Right.
Man, I would much rather see Darnell Washington on this team than Gerald Everett.
Hey, you know who else I heard is on Pittsburgh there, Shorty?
A certain quarterback with number 2?
Yeah, and also a certain offensive guard that I really liked was James Daniels.
And a very good young center. Frazier.
Yes. And their first-round draft pick, the tackle out of Washington, he's hurt. Fatunanu. Yeah.
Man, they really invest in that O-line because they also took Broderick Johnson.
Yes.
Poles.
Yes.
Please.
Yes. Yes.
It's like I said last night. It's like John Elway could never get a quarterback from the Broncos. It's like,
Man.
Hall of Fame quarterback can't get a quarterback for the Broncos.
Right.
Undrafted free agent for the Bears, offensive lineman general manager can't get an offensive lineman for the Bears.
Seemed like you should have put a little bit more zip on this pass.
Yeah, go back to the other view on this one, because I think this was another very good play call where they're in that bunch formation, right?
He's the lead guy.
Mm-hmm.
And then you see the two guys take the same guy. They're playing the same zone. So they've already got miscommunication, blown coverage. Rome Odunze's wide open. Why didn't we go back to this formation again?
And he lofted it.
They already had issues with communication and assignment. We never went back to this formation again.
Mm-hmm.
We started in this formation, and you'll see later on that we motioned out of it multiple times. But why? And then why did Rome just run to the guy? I mean, we connected this a couple weeks ago too. Take the angle that you have. Like, why do you turn into the guy?
Right.
Just keep going.
Follow your momentum.
Because it was a bad pass.
Yeah, well, he was really slowing down for that one, wasn't he?
Yeah, it was a bad pass, and therefore he was running, and he's like, let me because he had overran it, he came back to catch it. So that's how he turned into him.
Yeah, I can see that. Had that ball been a little further out,
right,
touchdown.
A little closer to the sideline.
Most definitely.
Still, why you plant like that? And still,
I remember this play. At the time, I remember thinking like he was overcompensating for overthrowing the ball all the time. He's like, oh, let me just. I don't want to.
Well, I think Borum getting. I think Borum getting pushed back there also caused Caleb to get a little off.
Well, we're not going to talk about Borum until we see that guy at the end of the game, that Corum. That dude, boy, he was such a turnstile. I was like, oh my goodness. Well, we'll talk about that later.
I don't know if we'll get that far.
Right. That dude. Ooh.
There you go.
This might end at halftime. Oh man, that run was awful.
That wasn't bad. That wasn't a bad block.
No, this run, I'm talking about the run at the end of the halftime.
That wasn't a bad blocking scheme here. I didn't like that.
Who's open?
No one.
Commit, but it's on the opposite side he's reading.
Ooh,
so what do we got here? We got
Rome's open right there. If he pops it up to Rome on the bottom left.
So there's no one over the top, right?
Well, okay, but where is Caleb reading this? So he's reading the right side of the field. So this does look like a split field read. And what he's seeing is single coverage on that right-hand side. He's looking at number game, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so this, in my opinion, this is the correct side of the field you want to look at, because he's looking for DJ and then he's looking at Roshan. And that's because he's seeing singles on that side. So he tries to get that ball to Roshan because he doesn't trust DJ, and he doesn't have the offensive line to flip his hips, flip his head, and look to the left. But you ask where Komet is. He's coming off the line here. He's going straight down on this play, and he's wide open. Rome eventually gets open once he gets through this trash. But
right here, Caleb's side eye into his left, and he's like, "Oh, there's a lot of shit going on over there."
He's holding his safety, but just before this, yes, he did look to the left to see that that's where the overload was. 52 ends up blitzing, and then he does try to peek back. If you see really quickly here, so I can't blame the play calling on this, because I think this isn't a bad play call. I can't really blame Caleb because he's reading this correctly, but you know
what I do blame J2K?
Yes, let me have it.
if you can rewind it a little bit, Shorty, when Caleb looks back to his left, he should see the two Cardinals bumping into each other, and then make the pass over the top.
Right here?
Right there.
Yeah.
See that?
I think back to center on that.
Oh, that's what you did. Okay, all right.
Yeah, I
back to
do.
center.
Because I think he came off of BJ and he's back. Now I think what he's looking at is he's seeing the open grass and he's seeing Roshan, but he's feeling the pressure. And I also think that at this point in time in the season for Caleb he's jumpy. Like he doesn't get his feet planted.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the ball isn't placed well on that. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Is this the same play?
Yeah, this will give us a better angle of what he's looking at here, right? So
now he's looking to his right.
So he never really
looks. Safety looks over to that side.
Now
goes back to center.
See,
try to dump it off.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Just poor feet, doesn't get to the right side of Roshan. Another huge blitz.
I thought that was a bad route.
And this is the flag on Borum. We're setting too far back. You can see that.
And Kansas City guy sets further back than that.
You watching it right now?
Well, that's the right read.
He does it all the time. I mean, the right tackle.
Juwan Taylor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, if you see him coming out of that break, I don't like the fact that he have to come back to the ball, which now takes him and short of the line of game.
I don't like how slow he is.
You talking about Borum?
No, I'm talking about Keenan Allen here.
Yeah, that was really slow coming.
And he comes off the line well, and he gets some separation there, but it absolutely closes up. Someone made a suggestion I saw on Twitter is, at what point do you start rotating in DeAndre Carter for Allen just because of these speed issues? And this is where Allen gets mugged, and the refs won't call it. The refs were letting Arizona absolutely mug our guys. We had that same penalty at Washington.
Mm-hmm.
Was it Washington? Or
yet they got him on a offensive pass interference for pushing off barely. I mean, like they never call that.
Right.
I really despise this view, especially because it's not even the all-22. It's like the all-9.
Well, it's the O-line.
The all-18.
Yeah, you got to be an O-line guru to really enjoy that.
Yeah, no shit.
That word. Borum had a good block, but
yeah, he's not the total turnstile.
Borum didn't play up until this point. He has not played all that bad, considering.
Right, I agree.
Injury, playing on the. He's normally a right tackle, right?
Yeah,
he was, yes, but I know early on they were they played Jenkins and Borum at times at left tackle. That was their rookie year.
Yeah,
mug.
They had the Cardinals cornerbacks look like they were all pro.
Yep.
I remember seeing this play because they didn't show the replay of this, and I was thinking to myself, does that ball look like it was catchable? But it's not.
Well, I mean, we'll put it this way: if the cornerback hadn't have pulled the guy Odunze's arms down, and Odunze, went up for that ball, I think it would look a lot more catchable.
True.
Right?
Yeah.
So I think there's a little bit of a factor of, okay, did the cornerback cause the receiver to make it look like it wasn't catchable because he was mugging him? So, my opinion, that's a PI, but Komet getting bracketed.
Oh, here's the one. Here's the play. Look at DJ Moore here.
Okay, and yes, this is a great play, but I think this is okay. So what we got here is we've got an alert down to Keenan Allen, right?
Mhm.
And I already watched Tim Jenkins break this down, and there's these two kind of deep crossers. He called it a machete concept, which is kind of cool. And then Rome Odunze is on this corner route that actually stops, comes back, which is called a Cobb route. So what happens here, though, is that Caleb sees the single coverage and the press coverage. So right away, that's an alert to throwing that fade route.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if Caleb had felt a little more comfortable about this O-line, he might have had a bit of a chance to peek back to the center of the field. But he absolutely made up his mind right, at the start of the play, pre-snap, that he's throwing that alert because
Right
of the press
there.
coverage. And he knows that this guy's blitzing to that side, so he knows that the defender's going to take the tight end, Komet.
Mm-hmm.
And so he's got one-on-one coverage on press against Keenan Allen. That should be a win for us.
Mm-hmm.
But Keenan Allen is not Keenan Allen anymore. It's a good ball placement. You can see he gets one hand on the ball, kind of slows up a bit, turns back. Just now, for me, if that's Rome Odunze, I think Rome Odunze wins that route.
1,000%.
Now I'm wondering, is it just instead of putting the ball in the air more, just try to throw it to him at the numbers at this point in his career?
I'm wondering if this is a case of we got to get our veterans involved for multiple reasons. A, we got to keep their mouths fed, right? And B, we have to make it look to the defense like we are going to our vets, right? Like we're going to our stud receivers, rather than putting Rome Odunze in this position. They just personnel-wise fuck it up.
Well, had this been a different coverage scheme, Rome Odunze might have been wide open. So Caleb is, regardless of who is in position where Keenan Allen was, he read the play correctly. He threw the alert because it's press coverage. He threw a good ball. I mean, I don't know what else Caleb can do on this play other than have, hindsight and go, oh, DJ's going to get open here. I've got, what is this? And then this defensive scheme here. I mean, what is this? Two stunts and gains, right?
They're actually sending 5 with number 44 spying.
Right.
I guess he's really watching he's watching Roshan Johnson 44 is, but they sent 5.
Right.
But you could tell right here, he's like, oh, he could feel 7 coming. And
yeah,
this is where the ghosts start to begin, right? They start to happen. And when you can't trust your offensive line and you don't know, because now does he really know? I mean, is he 1,000% sure that Roshan's got this guy? Because right there, he's made up his mind. He's made up his mind right there.
Right. And then to Laz's point in the chat, what happened to Caleb scanning the field? We saw that a lot more earlier on in the season. Him going 1, 2 to 3. I think he's starting to realize that he doesn't have time to do that. So he's got to read the coverage, read the first guy. Maybe you can get to the second guy. Probably not, and it's got to be checked down. But what he ends up doing in this game is he ends up scrambling or just going for the home run ball.
Right.
And I think this is a bit of him pressing.
Yeah.
And that's how the problem starts. It's like, when these quarterbacks, we get these new young quarterbacks in and they have the talent, and because of the lack of protection, they start seeing ghosts, and therefore they become one read guys and things of that sort, because we've seen it happen with our previous quarterbacks. And
Josh, you're talking about Cade McNown?
No, I'm actually talking about Mitch Trubisky as well. I mean, because again, I mean, it started off pretty decently, but then it started, slowly you get in this situation and man, fix it. All right, back to my defense. All right.
All right, let's get through this defense. I'm just kidding. Oh shit, what did I do? What did I do? Oh, I reset the whole damn thing.
That doggone Shorty. See?
Where were we? Oh, right here. I think we were right about here. Oh no, never mind.
Yeah, we weren't there yet.
Wrong play.
Yeah, it's a little bit.
Okay, we're
a little bit
there
further.
yet either.
Yeah.
Let's see. It's because I'm using the keyboard. Am I too far ahead still?
I think so.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. So probably like one defensive play. There you go. Let's try this.
A little bit further.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we passed that.
I think we get the field goal on this and kick it to
Right.
them, and then it's the next series that we're on.
Yeah.
And then
There we go.
to Lads' point, roll out Caleb. We did see that a little earlier on. The only issue with the rollouts is that you shrink the field. You only get one half of the field. Caleb does a really good job of finding guys open when he does that because he buys time and guys in scramble drill get open. But it's something you can't do all the time. It just shrinks the field.
Foster saying, I wish I didn't love football.
Right?
I wish I didn't either, man. Sometimes I just wish I could not give a shit anymore. It's just so badly.
So this is Reddy Stewart getting the fumble. I'm curious if Tremaine Edmonds was not in his correct assignment because he is all the way down the field.
Gee. Must have been man to man.
It must have been. No,
it wasn't. He just carried this guy all the way down.
Ran him all the way to the safety.
Right.
But this is an argument that I have for Flus. You've got Hicks, a 7th round draft pick. You've got Reddy Stewart, an undrafted free agent, playing in his first NFL game, non-preseason. And here, the two guys are making some great plays here.
Right.
You talk about growth of players and what Flus has done for this defense. I think this is a good example. I do question why Tremaine got that much depth.
Unless he called the wrong defense himself. He called one defense and then actually did something else. Because he's the only one playing man to man.
I wish if that's the case, I wish they'd screw up like that more often.
Well, what's interesting, we play a lot of this type of defense called match, which comes from Nick Saban, and it's this blend between man and zone, and it's done out of cover 3. And I wonder if Tremaine was playing match there while everybody else is playing zone.
Mm.
And the idea is that given the routes that are in front of you, you're either staying in your zone or you're taking the guy in man coverage. Because that's the biggest thing for cover 3 is that, you can, you can pass against cover 3 because you've got someone who's up closer to the line. You can run against cover 2. So how do you blend the two together? And Nick Saban created the match defense concepts, which Flus runs a ton of. 38% of our defensive coverage is cover 3, and we're top 5 in the NFL at cover 3, which is interesting coming from a Tampa 2 defensive coordinator.
Very, very interesting.
Something to look into, guys. Got that orbit motion with Keenan Allen.
Yep.
Keenan, could you just run a little faster?
And it's a dead ball.
Yeah, they read the zone. I mean, read the screen.
Yeah. Nobody's fooled by that orbit motion because nobody's afraid of Keenan Allen 8 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
Right? It's just left him on his own.
Right. The threat is just not there. You know, if Caleb just turned back to Keenan, the guy's wide open, plenty of green grass, but I mean,
Keenan would have got to the 40-yard line if he threw it to him right there.
Right.
Yeah, you got to put some guy with some wheels out there. Somebody like a Bayless Jones.
Don't start that again.
Oh, man.
To be fair on this play, yeah, that would have been a Bayless Jones play. That's what, he did a lot in college. He just ran to the flat and just stood there and waited for the ball and then just, run, Bayless, run.
Mm-hmm.
That goes all about how you utilize your players.
Yeah.
I'm like, he ain't great at running routes. Okay, I got something simple for you to do. Right here.
Where is Swift going? I wish we had the other end zone view because where are you going, dude? Look, he goes, oh, I've got blockers in front of me. Let me cut back. And then there's three guys. Why are you cutting back? Where are you going?
Was it Tony Moore that said earlier? He has bad vision.
Yeah, look at to the left. You've got 4, 5 guys and one Cardinal over to that side, and then he just suddenly bounces it back towards the pursuit.
Mm-hmm.
What are we doing?
I hate it when a guy is tackled and I see all the linemen standing around.
This play. We've seen this happen a lot this season.
Yeah, they don't seem to be on the same page.
Right.
Looks like me playing golf.
So what is this? So this has got to be some kind of a leverage concept if that ball is going back shoulder, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. So Caleb's got to be reading leverage and go, okay, I'm going to throw this back shoulder and it's going to be wide open and DJ is not seeing this. Is that what's happening here?
Yeah, because the ball is out now.
Yeah, and it's as if DJ was supposed to turn back to his left and kind of turn that into a hook instead of whatever that was, like a go.
Yeah.
And field goal number 3?
27.
2?
Yeah, number 2, I think, at that point. Now, this is another thing that's very interesting. Look how widespread our defensive line is here.
Yeah.
So, Flus really called this game plan expecting our linebackers to stay in their gaps. And then who is that? Edwards, did he overrun his gap here? Because that hole is coming right at him and he's backtracking and
that's what you would call it again.
Sanborn is getting blocked out here.
Mm-hmm.
Edmonds might be staying in his gap, but it just looks
not
bad.
Pressing the hole though.
Yeah, he's not doing much here, but that backside, that cutback is wide open.
The problem I got with this one, besides the fact that they took the wrong angle to begin with, or the alignment is wrong, because when you're playing wide 9 like this, Edwards is almost right. Edmonds was wrong, and then Sanborn was wrong. Now on that breakaway, while the play's still going there, sure. Sanborn overruns and Edmonds does not press the hole.
Right.
Meaning, pause,
Right here.
right there. Now, had Edmonds shot up between 63 and 67, and Sanborn stayed on the right side of 87, that play would have been more contained. Follow what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Yes.
Because
You always want to funnel everything back to the inside.
Exactly.
Sanborn overran.
Right. I like the hustle on Robinson's part, but yeah. Better vision. I guess he could have cut down a little bit sooner. But yeah, that's what it was. That's 2 times now that Sanborn overran the play.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this is a touchdown, if I'm not mistaken. Am I correct?
I believe it is.
Okay, so can we just play this one in slow motion to begin with?
Mm-hmm.
Because I want to see exactly what went wrong here. Okay, it's not. It's not the touchdown. It's not the touchdown.
Yeah, I thought they passed the ball several times and then they just ran the ball just to get enough yards for a field goal and gave up a touchdown.
Well, it was a 53-yard touchdown. That's why I was looking at
Already
it.
on the wrong side of the field, so this must not
Yeah.
be it.
Yeah.
But this is another backbreaker here. Man, Connor is he's just a meat stick.
Oh, meat stick.
The guy is just,
Yeah.
you could just tell he is. If you punch him, you'd break your fucking hand. If you punch him in his chest or in his stomach, you'd break your hand. You know what I mean?
Now I look at Walker on this play and I think the life of this defense has been kind of taken out of this team at this point. He doesn't take on that block. The guy gets down and he's just kind of walking and he just doesn't look like he's hyped up for what everybody is doing and how they're handling this game. They're just,
if you guys remember when we went against Indianapolis, how Indianapolis was preventing our linemen from getting up to block their linebackers. We're not doing it. They're getting to our linebackers and just stonewalling.
right.
And that's part of the problem.
And they're changing the point of attack too. They're getting up on our linebackers 3, 4, 5 yards downfield,
right?
Before they are even at the point. So
this is where it all begins. This is the beginning of the running dominance. Was this drive? It's just 8 yards a clip.
So I think what Flus was attempting to do with spreading out the defensive line in this game was to contain Kyler Murray from running the ball. And Arizona, this was like, all right, well, if you're going to do that, we got another runner.
Mm-hmm. I think you're right. I think he was afraid of the running game from Kyler.
Yeah. I mean, just look how widespread everybody is. And
yes,
what
he's playing he's playing a lot of wide nine.
Mm-hmm.
And
our
that
linebackers
blitzing,
are 5 to 7
creativity
yards off
and the blitzing we saw early in this game is gone. And now everything is just, okay, hat on a hat, contain Murray. You guys need to win at the point of attack. And to be fair to this defense I think they're also gassed. We're not moving the ball enough on offense.
3 and outs.
Yes, too many 3 and outs. And they're just tired. I mean, the will is starting to get sucked out of them just because it's the run game that's winning.
Yep. Man,
everybody's waiting for something to do instead of attacking.
Yeah, you're not attacking. That's what I'm looking at.
Yeah.
Linebackers aren't attacking there.
A lot of questionable decision making out there.
Got to come up with a plan of attack. I have a plan. Attack.
I think this is the run here where Sanborn falls down, gets back up, still gets his guy.
He's not even in the game, sir.
Oh, okay. I'm wrong.
Oh, got a sack.
Oh, is that Jacob Martin's sack? Man, this is the guy we needed earlier in this season because he is pretty darn good. He's on the left side going up against number 70.
Yeah. Y9 again.
Yep. Just the hands.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I think the D tackle got credited with it, but
91.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chris Williams.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But Jacob Martin 55. When his actual sack was actually really
Tommy Harris wannabe.
Hey, that's my guy.
Oh, that's right. This was the penalty.
Him and Eddie.
Oh yeah, he put his hands on the guy's back and
Yeah, I thought that was a bad call.
Man, that's
I thought that was horrible.
yeah, pretty ticky tacky, my opinion.
He wasn't clearly pushing off of him.
Right. I think had he lifted the hand that's on the guy up when his other arm was going up, this wouldn't been a called, even though he started with the hand on top of him. Yeah, that's a tough one, man.
And that goes from a field goal into a touchdown. This is
the play right here, I think.
Yeah.
Jackie. Flips, boom.
Yeah, Sanborn, he's not. I was impressed with this play because this was the sign of his motor. His motor got the best of him in some of these negative plays yesterday. But right there.
Yeah, man.
Look at Sanborn. He goes down.
He lost outside container. He never took it.
But then he goes down there and still gets back up that quick to still take him out before a touchdown. Not that it mattered, but I was impressed with that play. One of the few plays I was. Oh yeah, he had this tight end.
Yeah, that should have been a touchdown.
Not that it really mattered.
Who's on this? Byard? This is Byard's assignment? He's the far guy on the outside. 85 is.
Oh, he was blitzing.
Well, I wonder if his assignment is, no, well, geez, he does sure look like he's going all the way. So
yeah, he does.
Who's man up on 85 on that? It's got to be a linebacker then, right? Because 53 has got his guy. So is that Edmonds? Man, if that's Edmonds, then
that was just
somebody blew the assignment. Yeah. I think that's 53. If Byard is supposed to be blitzing, then that's got to be 53 being the outside guy, and then Edmonds has got to be taking the underneath guy. Edwards ended up taking the underneath guy,
but 44 was out there too, so I don't know if he was supposed to take it.
Oh, you're right. Oh, Sewell.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Sewell. If he's the edge guy. Now, I mean, maybe they just called a run blitz and the numbers just didn't work out in their favor. So who knows?
Yeah, it looked like they were trying to stop the run there.
Yeah.
And it was a pass. He got duped a few times in this game. Floofs. One which is about to happen on the next drive. So this is the last scoring drive of the game, if I'm correct?
No, we haven't got to the end of the half yet.
But they only scored 9 points.
Oh, you're talking about for the Bears. Oh,
yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, that wasn't too bad.
It's like against the Commanders, I felt like during that game, I just had a feeling we were going to win it. Like we were in it the whole time. Like something's going to change. We're going to win this game. And then boom, we had it. Exactly like I had hoped for and envisioned in my mind.
Give me 1 second, Shorty.
And this game, I felt like it was just slipping away from us from, I don't know, a couple of series ago up until here.
Yeah, because we didn't score touchdowns. We scored field goals. And then, we just never even got back in range.
What's up, Mo Lester? He's saying, "Night, guys. I'm disappointed and disgusted with almost everything." Sorry, buddy. You having some political issues right now in your life? Kamala Jesus. All right. So, I gotta go back over here.
I'm back.
So this.
That was Swift again. Just a little out route. I mean, looks
Nothing.
Well. I mean, this is a good play in my opinion. So this is cover two. Well, cover two man. No, that's match. So that's a cover two match, and Swift is the underneath guy, and Caleb sees that everything's covered up, zoned up, and he gets the ball out to him in time for Swift to make a play. And
yeah, I'm not disappointed with it. We were driving the ball still at this point in the game.
He went pushed back the long arm there.
Caleb goes through his progressions here. The offensive line is doing a decent job.
Right.
Well, who was it that pointed out? I think it was last week that they get to the line, they try to figure out if they're in man or zone, and they call the play.
Yes.
Which is really pretty impressive considering they're doing that with a rookie, right?
Right. Yes, it is. It's a lot on his plate. A lot of people are arguing, Jaden Daniels has kind of got this paint by numbers offense, and he's making it so much easier for him because in the route progression, there's a zone beater, there's a man beater, and all he has to do is pick the one that does. And Caleb's actually walking up with 2 plays, and he's got to decipher what the defense is doing. It's a good argument. I mean, who knows long term, short term, it seems like it's the right thing for Jaden Daniels. Williams is going through his struggles with it.
Well, the thing that you also have to take into account is Jaden Daniels he's not going to be learning a new offense next year. So,
right.
In a way, is it possible that this is going to help Caleb?
Oh, well, so many people run this offense anyway that honestly, even if we got a new offensive coordinator, new head coaching, I don't think things are going to be that difficult because what Caleb's doing is he's learning to read defenses very early in his career.
Mm-hmm.
So I think this is a good thing. I know it kind of sucks right now because he's making a ton of mistakes. Was this false start?
Mm-hmm.
But long term, this is good. And I also wonder, Caleb's very in control of his destiny, so to speak. I think his team and his corner are really pressing the Bears to do for Caleb what Caleb wants. So I wonder if Caleb's like, no, I want to do what the veterans are doing and learn this the right way. And don't give me a gimmicky offense.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder
who wrote the book of love.
I just wonder if his father is going to become more of a problem.
You know, possibly, and maybe more so behind the scenes.
Yeah,
Like
that's one. Yeah,
if we did go through a future coaching hire, does Caleb Williams' team have a list of candidates?
Right.
Right.
I mean, given that what was that a tweet or something he made or something that was criticizing the coach.
He said that's a real head coach. He's tried to walk it back, saying, "Oh, I was just talking about Washington's his favorite football team, and he was just commenting on that coach and all that." But I'm not going to swear. I almost did. I was going to baloney.
Yeah,
Your son just played the
Exactly.
Washington Commanders, and you're tweeting out that the opposition's head coach is a real head coach. Yeah, hogwash there.
Yeah, I just wondered, stuff like that, would that become more of a problem?
I'm curious too. I wonder if this trouble in the locker room, is how I'll just state it at the moment until it gets any worse, is a byproduct of this team being kind of led by Caleb Williams and the team. We got to do right by our franchise quarterback. We don't want to, we got to give him the things he wants. And, Caleb's walked in and is kind of leading the locker room more so than the head coach. But, Flus is taking a back seat because he feels like he has to.
Yeah.
But hey, at least we can complete a quick throw.
Yeah.
I mean, how many years have we gone with quarterbacks that just can't do this? It's like, into the hand, out of the hand. No time to find the laces, rip the ball, get upfield. That's a positive.
Who needs Getsy when we have Waldron there?
Hey, Getsy's available.
Yeah.
Oh, this
and
one.
just a flat out drop.
Sure, Aaron Rodgers.
So far, you guys, how much do you guys have an issue with the play calling versus the actual performance of the players?
I have more of a problem with the players than I do the play calling. Now, I think at times he can run more, but our offensive line, I've been harping on that for 3, 4, 5, 10 years. So that's where I'm at.
I think I'm there with you. The play calling could be a lot worse. When we were doing this ALL-22 a few weeks ago, we were talking at the time about look how many guys are open, right?
Yeah.
The defenses are going to adjust. It happens every single week, and you're not going to win every game, right? Somebody's going to figure out what you're doing until you can adapt and adjust to it. And I will say, what I was comfortable with was in that 3-game winning streak, seeing the offense it seemed like they were actually they were finding their identity. And I feel like they've lost that a little bit. Now, is that because of they're trying to integrate new things into it?
Because we was playing bad teams.
Is it because we were playing bad teams?
Well,
is it because the teams have adjusted?
Well, I'll point out here is, with the Cardinals, to me, their defense right now, it's blood in the water with this O-line. And they are just attacking it. I mean, twists and stunts and blitzes and rushing 3 people and dropping 8 people, and it's just, they can't play this type of a defense against a sound offense or a sound offensive line. You just can't. But against us, I mean, just look at how wild they're getting with their defensive line. You block that up and you're in cover 0 or cover 1, against half of the NFL, half of the teams in the NFL, and guys are getting wide open and you're just getting burned. We can't do anything because we just can't block at all.
Here we go. This is this is the last drive of the half.
And also to point out, in the first half, we held Kyler Murray to 66 yards and 0 rushing yards.
Mm-hmm.
He was 6 of 9. So, I mean, Flus did, on one hand, he did the right thing in stopping Kyler Murray. But on the other hand, to me, is just, a lineman assignment on the D line. And
But-
this is about to come to the run play.
There you go. Hold on.
But yeah.
So how many seconds are left in the half?
There are 20-something, 30 seconds.
No, got to be like 10 seconds or so now, right?
No, because there was
Oh, okay.
There was
All right.
26 seconds when they got this ball. So
Oh, okay,
yeah, you're
okay.
probably right. Somewhere around. Yeah.
But this is when the this got to be an incomplete pass or something.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
now
all they're trying to do right now is get into field goal range, throw outside passes so they can get out of bounds, and then they're like, okay, we're going to run the ball one last time. It's going to field goal range.
so my point on this play right here is like, what
Is
are
this
you
it?
thinking? Being again, the guys, man, how can I say this? I'm trying to be nice.
Why be nice?
Because it's like situational awareness. You got a few seconds left in the half, right? You have a few seconds left in the half. So why are we not, as a safety, reading the quarterback and now reacting? And it's like, Edmonds, you can't get off a block or what?
Right. And it's a
I mean-
really long developing play, and
Yeah.
nobody's getting off their blocks. I mean, you even see who's that Walker at the very top, run all the way down. I can't see his number, but
Hooker?
was that Book? Oh, that's Book. Yeah,
Hooker,
that's Book.
Hooker, yeah.
I mean, out of all these, who's hustling? Book, the Rook, right?
And then look at the safeties. The safeties taking wrong angles and whatnot. And it's like,
Right.
what are you doing?
Yeah. Hicks looked slowed up on that play. Byard goes right into the block, can't get off of it. Back up. Oh no, this guy's faster than I am.
Right here, Flus was just terrified of the Hail Mary. It's
Well,
just
and he's
terrified of it.
also, we're in a cover 2. Why are we in a cover 2? They're trying just to get a first down so they can kick a field goal.
Man.
Why aren't we?
I shouldn't say the Hail Mary. I mean like a deep ball. Yeah, like
Right.
he's almost in a prevent. He's not a prevent, but his safeties are so deep.
Well, he claims that he called a pass protection play, but he blitzed. He's blitzing is it black I'm sorry, what's the backup nickelback number 39? Who's that?
Oh,
Black-
Is that Blackwell? Yeah.
yeah.
He blitzes him.
Carl is the biggest Josh Blackwell meat writer out there.
But I'm saying,
But yeah,
you're blitzing
it's
the
a
guy.
corner blitz, nickel blitz.
You're blitzing the guy and you're dropping Booker,
Right.
and you're blocking Booker, dropping Booker where there's nobody on that side when you already got a cornerback on that side.
And nobody has that gap. So who's responsible for that gap? Might be better from the other angle if they got it.
Well, okay. Now, because of the defense they're in, pause. So I'm assuming Taylor has the C gap.
Mhm.
I'm assuming Taylor has a C gap. Booker, I would like to think, has the other C gap. Then you have
That Walker.
there's a Walker responsible for the B gap, and Jervon, is that Jervon in the middle there?
Mm-hmm.
He's responsible for this B gap.
B gap. Yeah.
So they pull, and I don't know that I just got a problem when that guy get up to the linebacker and see
It's Edmund.
Blackwell took the wrong angle. He took the wrong angle.
Look how far out Edmonds
Yeah.
is getting. So who's got the A gaps? Who's got the B gaps?
I'm thinking
I think,
Edmonds was supposed to come up and fill the A gap or something.
or is Dexter
It looked like
going?
Dexter had the A gap.
Dexter goes in for the A gap.
Yeah.
Edmonds got the B, and Edmonds overruns because he thinks this is a pass play or something because he's covering 85.
And what is Edwards doing? Getting blocked. These guys cannot get off their blocks, man.
85 had Tremaine Edmonds' number all game.
Yeah.
I'm
He
telling you,
blocked
he's
his ass
getting
all
blocked.
game.
And this is where, I don't think that they gave up, right? I know a lot of people saying that. I think they're exhausted. And when you're exhausted and you're getting run over, you start pressing, you start jumping the wrong gaps, trying to do too much. You're outside your assignment. But I mean, look how fast Booker was on that play. And everybody else looks like they're in slow motion.
Stephen Me says that Bears fan in the end zone congratulating the runner is pathetic. Look at number 23 there.
Is that real? I wasn't even paying attention.
He's like, "What's up, bro?" It's like right there. He kind of puts up his hand right at the end, like, yeah. He's like, "Yeah."
Well, hey, he made it to TV. You know what I'm saying?
Man, I can't believe it takes 2 hours to get through a half of the ALL-22.
Has it been 2 hours? Oh my goodness!
No kidding. How should we do this next half?
Told you, man. I'm good on the defense now. If you wanna go continue on, I mean, I'm cool either way. Yes, I mean, I think we've got the point.
Right. Yeah.
You want to just look at offense right now?
Yeah, we can just do offense if you want, or nothing at all. I mean, I know you guys got to get up and you got to get up and go to work in the morning, so we get it.
J2K's got to make a bunch of other. He's got to do some rebranding tomorrow.
Well, we can end it here. We can end it because I think we got the gist of it.
Right. I'm in no rush, you guys. I'm good, but I know you guys have more responsibilities than I do.
Is that not a Walter Payton move there that number 3 is doing?
I was just gonna say, look at number 3. That's sweet. That's awesome.
Yeah, they're not gassed. They're doing
flips and whatnot.
Yeah.
Speaking of flips, did you see that that play that Barkley did?
Oh yes. Are you kidding me?
Never seen nothing like that before in my life.
Yep. Then moved to a hurdle backwards.
I'm telling you.
I didn't see it.
You didn't see it?
Line, man.
I stuck my head in the sand last night, man. I came on here, I ranted, bitched, and moaned and raved about this loss, and then I put my head in the sand. I haven't seen any. I don't even know who else won except for the Lions. That was the highlight of my day. Was the Packers getting their asses handed to them.
Yeah.
I mean, we can. What do you guys want us to do in chat? You want to keep going with this offense? I know this just gets worse and worse, doesn't it?
Well, it seemed like you just stopped even looking down the field. It seemed like you just started throwing everything short.
Yeah. Well, there's probably not a whole lot of offensive plays because I don't think we move the ball too much. So it might speed up the end of this. So
yeah, because they're
fast forward through the defense, and then we'll just see how this goes.
Yeah, because they just ran the damn ball down our throats from here, didn't they? But what was that? Yeah. I didn't even. Oh, jeez. Fucking excuse me, James Conner. Oh, God.
Yeah.
Jeez.
I mean, you go 3 and out, and then you're back on defense. It's just these guys are gassed. Can't get off of blocks. I mean,
Tremaine Edmonds.
In their Edmonds overruns the play.
Yep.
Like, what is going on? Like, he's better than this. He really is. This isn't a hate on Edmonds, but man.
Stephen May says, "Get ready for the Civil War tomorrow." Isn't that reserved for January 6th?
Easy now, easy.
Tomorrow's a trade deadline. What are you guys all talking about?
Yeah, right. I'm not even voting. What are you guys talking about? Man, just unbelievable. This just got so out of hand where it becomes one of those games where you're just like,
Robinson on this play.
Has the cheat code been turned on?
Robinson messed up on this play.
Did he?
He crashes down and get washed out. See that?
Mm-hmm.
Right. I think we missed containment. That's Sweat would have given us in this game, and they attacked it because they kept attacking that side of the ball that Sweat would have been on.
Yeah, in the second half.
Look at
where eventually it seemed like they took him out the game.
Look at Robinson's body compared to when we drafted him.
Oh yeah, he's been in that weight room.
Damn.
I still think that Robinson's got a future. I know he's just at this point he's just nothing more than a run defender and he's just okay and stuff. But man, he's the position changes he's gone through, the body changes he's gone through.
I agree with you.
Still working hard. There might be an upside with that kid.
I agree.
I wouldn't want to give up on him, but then again, I wouldn't want to give up on Velus either. There's a lot of players I wouldn't want to give up on.
Right.
They're all Bears.
Oh yeah, I'm just saying. I mean,
they're all homegrown Bears.
Yeah. Well, that's part of what the draft is, right?
Yeah.
Draft guys, train them up, get them ready.
You're still upset we got rid of
Let a Booker get in there.
James.
But
no,
it's a keeper.
Who's the guy that could jump out of the pool? You're still pissed off about PJ because he was
Gerard
Gilbert.
Gerard Gilbert.
Oh, we drafted him.
What about that guy? That one safety we had. What's his name? Harden. I was like, who is this guy? We got him in the third round. I was like, who is this guy?
Oh, I remember that. Oh, what a flop.
Yeah, number 35 he was. I was like, where'd this guy come from?
What about that guy that was comped to Richardson, the cornerback? He was like a 6'5" cornerback. Richard Sherman. He was comped as like a Richard Sherman comp.
You ain't talking about Bowman, are you?
No, but he was a big, tall, lanky cornerback that I know I had a lot of hope in.
And it wasn't Bowman, number 31.
I think he was. I don't think it was Bowman.
Okay.
Man, it could have been Bowman. Spell it.
Bowman.
I don't think so.
I remember the name of the player, but yeah, I'm drawing a blank. Good play by Jalen Johnson.
I remember this play right here going, it's a fucking miracle! They actually stopped him!
I think what this game showed me, though, is that Dexter may not be ready yet. He may not be ready to take over like I thought he would be.
I wondered because he was hurt at the last game. He came out for a minute and then came back in. I wonder if there might be a little bit of issue, but I do agree that the hype or the early play that we saw from him,
right,
it hasn't been sustained, and that's a bummer because I had hopes for him and higher expectations.
I just want a little more quickness out of that position. Personally, maybe it's because I'm just so
he is slow off the ball here.
I think of the perfect three technique. I think of Tommy Harris.
Yes,
man.
Yes.
Well, and then also look at this defensive tackle group. I mean, it's Dexter, Billings, and then Pickens has been injured. We traded for Coleman is his name, I think.
Chris Williams.
Chris Williams, that's right. And then you got Cowart on the practice squad, who we brought up a couple times. That's not what this defense. You can't rely on that. That's not enough.
No.
And then I like Booker, but I still think he's still a raw talent. Taylor, I think he's a good pass rusher, but I don't think he's a good run defender. That's just not his game. He just doesn't have the size for that.
I've always thought we was playing out of position. DeMarcus
Walker.
Yeah, I think
he's
he's
more of an inside guy. And
Yeah.
I like Walker, and I agree with you. I think he should be a little more of a inside guy on the NASCAR package and all that.
Yeah.
Oh, this is the Martin sack. Ooh, play that back again. I mean, Martin just man. Number 55.
Yeah, 1-2.
70 and 70 here.
Well, hold on really quick. What's up, Jack? What's up, Jack Package? Thanks for hanging out with us tonight. What are we looking at?
Number
Look
55,
at number 70
left.
going against 55 here. Martin had another real close sack there. Gets off the hands. Get off me. That's a grown man sack right there.
Oh, yeah, that was.
Look at that.
And
as he's being
guy, Javon is getting stonewalled back there. Am I correct? Number 72 is just stonewalling.
Single blocked on 72.
Yeah.
Is that
Didn't even get off the line of scrimmage.
Right. So
Okay,
man, I think overall we're looking at the trenches being this huge issue, and under Poles' tenure, we just haven't targeted that. We've got 3 superstar wide receivers, top 5 tight end. We spent all this money on DeAndre Swift. Our number 1 draft pick is a quarterback. No alignment. We've got the best secondary in football. Top to bottom, cornerbacks galore. Safeties are good, and
spend a lot of money on linebackers.
Not there.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, it's so hard for me to fall in line with this. It's all Flus's fault. Unless this was pointed out to me. Shout out to Jordan Severa. Great comment. This might be, Poles and Flus might have agreed to this building style. This might be what Flus came in and said, I want these ingredients. You go out and get them. We're going to overlook the offensive line. We're going to overlook the defensive line. We're going to target playmakers and secondary. And that's how we're going to build this team. So whoever made that decision to build outside in versus inside out, to me, was a glaring mistake.
Mm-hmm.
Well, maybe in their defense, not that I'm trying to defend them, but maybe they said, well, in this next draft, we're going to address the trenches. And that, to me, again.
Well, they said that with our picks, we're better off targeting these positions at these in these ranges, right? Is that what you mean?
Yeah, I mean, this 2025 draft, they talking about, well, we're going to address the trenches. Saying that if that's the case, it's like, but you run the risk of getting your quarterback hurt, or him developing bad habits with a porous O-line in front of him.
Right, and you also have the risk of not being here to make that happen. Like, he might get fired before he even got to finish the rebuild. And if it, and to me, it's not that like I don't want a good secondary. I don't like our playmakers. It's just that I just think the balance wasn't there. It's just too heavy one-sided in both sides of the ball. So,
It could have also been as well that they did not foresee themselves actually ending up with the first pick 2 years in a row. I mean, I could see the first year, they were like, wow, we have the first pick. And then their mindset might have been that they were not going to get the first pick again, but they would have a high round pick, a top 5 or top 10 pick with the Panthers, and they would use that to maybe build the team differently. But then when they were gift horse the first pick in the draft with a quarterback like this, they kind of had to change plans mid.
Right. Maybe Fields was in play until they found out that they had a chance for Williams.
Right.
But
they evaluated
they knew they had the chance of Williams because they had the first overall pick prior to free agency.
Yeah.
So why do you go and trade a 4th round pick and $20 million on Keenan Allen? Your first signing was Swift. You dumped a bunch of money into him for a 3-year contract. What's going on here? Why not target the offensive line in that free agency, knowing you've got Caleb Williams? And then the other question I posed to you guys is if next year, off season is supposedly going to round out this team, are we technically still in a rebuild? Starting a rookie quarterback, not having a competent offensive line, not having enough depth and star talent on the D line, we still in a rebuild here.
I would say no. And I'm saying no because when you spend that money on sweat, you're essentially stopping your rebuild because you're like, that clock is ticking with the money you spent on DJ Moore, the money you spent on Komet, Jalen Jones, and Sweat. Again, what'd you say?
I think the fact that you took a punter in the 4th round suggested maybe they didn't think they were.
Yeah, I mean, you
really 4 picks.
Crazy.
Yeah.
And I just, how can I say this without sounding a certain type of way? I think you shortchanged the process by taking that 1st round pick and going after one particular position that's instead of filling the other positions that were more needed.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was a wrong thing, and that threw off the whole time frame.
I would never, if I did that over 1,000,000 times over, I would do exactly what they did with trading Fields and in favor of of Caleb Williams. But you definitely make a great argument with that 9th pick. I mean, Rome Odunze he's a good receiver. He's going to be a damn good receiver by the time his career is up. But you could have gotten another receiver and a couple more draft picks that you could have used in the trenches, right? I mean,
you could have traded back for Brian Thomas and maybe got Zach Frazier, starting center or something or whatnot, or however. I do agree with Raging Oracle here saying you're in a rebuild until your O-line and D-line are set. I mean, that's just how I felt. And, I know that I was the one guy who was saying with Ryan Poles, like, I just wanted to see what the plan is. And when we took a cornerback and then a safety, 2 guys I loved in the draft, absolutely. I was fine with those 2 picks. But then you took Velus Jones, someone who was, more destined to be a kick returner, punt returner than he was to be a wide receiver threat from what I saw on the field in college. And why you didn't spend a draft pick on an offensive lineman at that time that we completely gutted our offensive line. You had Abraham Lucas sitting right there. He was the next pick, went to Seattle, who ran a wide zone scheme or a zone scheme. So it wasn't like he was outside of the realm of the system that we ran. He took a guy, it was a 3rd round pick, So I still question how the team was built from Ryan Poles. I know a lot of people said, trust in Poles. I still question it. And I think, I don't want to, sound braggadocious here, but I think I was correct in saying that we didn't build the O-line and defensive line. We didn't pay attention to the trenches enough. And now I think that Flus and Chris Morgan are the ones catching fire for it when it should be Poles, if in fact it was Poles' team building strategy. If it was Flus's, then I blame Flus. If it was a combination of the 2, then I blame the combination of the 2. And that's my rant.
Yes. We love you too, Mr. Mayhem. Thanks for joining us tonight. And what's up, Raging Oracle?
Yeah, Stephen, I'm just saying, I would have, me personally, I mean, I understand the whole argument. I get you guys' point with a quarterback reset, all that. I mean, I get all that. For me personally, I just would have traded down and got more picks and fixed this whole line, because I don't think with the improvement I was seeing slowly, granted, I would have been good enough with, keep going that route and just showing up this line to where these guys looking like turnstiles out here, or 3 guys blocking one guy. And I would fix the whole line. I'm sorry.
And this play, I do want to talk about this play.
Yeah, whose fault is this? Because this is a flat out blitz.
There's another angle of this. I don't know if you can go back to the other angle and see this. Watch Caleb Williams point to Swift, say, go block that guy mid-play. Mid-play, Caleb Williams points and says, block him.
Oh, yeah.
See that?
Yeah,
Sticks his
I saw
hands,
that.
block him.
Yeah.
That's your assignment, bro. Mid-play. That's your assignment, bro. Now, technically, Jenkins...
He probably didn't hear him.
He didn't hear me. Well,
I'm talking about Swift probably didn't hear him.
Yeah. Or Swift, he's supposed to. You can see he kind of breaks down in a sense that, okay, I have a blocking assignment here, and then I'm going to go out to be a receiver. He breaks down and then goes straight out. But
he even faked that way, like he was going to take the guy
that way. And Caleb was like, "Hey, that's your guy." Mid-play. Have you ever seen a quarterback point out that's your guy mid-play? I've never seen this before.
But he's on the wrong side.
Well, okay, that's a good argument. That was my initial thought too. That pre-snap you would have moved him over, knowing this was a blitz. But someone did point out that I do trust on Twitter, saying like that Swift still has that responsibility. Anybody coming inside, he's supposed to stay home, and he's supposed to look at whoever is coming inside, whoever's blitzing, and crossing the face on Williams is not like out of the question.
But Swift goes off for a pass.
Well, yes, but
it doesn't look like he was ever
be a blocker.
Yeah,
they run a stunt on the inside with the 2 tackles, which pulls Tevin away. And look at anyway, now this is Swift's assignment. I think it was Nate Tice who broke this down. He's a football guy on Twitter, smart guy. But he broke this down that this is absolutely Swift's fault. He does have responsibility here. If he sees nobody's coming to his right-hand side, he's supposed to look to the left. He even jumps that way as if, okay, I do have that responsibility over here. But he just fails at the assignment. And it might go back to vision because maybe he just doesn't see the guy.
But you got to also take in consideration too, if you go back, stop right here. You got a guy lined up over the center, right? So with that being said, how many guys are on the right side? How many defensive players are on the right side?
Mm-hmm.
We got one that I see so far. Now, hold on. If you can take it back just a little bit, right there. So right now
is expecting a blitz from the right-hand side.
So what I'm saying is, if you look at the center, if he takes the guy right in front of him, you got 2 other possibles, and you got 2 other linemen over there. Now on the left side, you got 4 guys possibles.
Right.
4 guys possible on the left.
Line should have shifted.
Huh?
Line should have shifted to the left.
No, what I'm saying, if you don't shift, that's when Swift have to know that if they're coming, they probably come from the left side. So let me get on over there, as opposed to like he started, but then he goes out on the route.
And then that's on Caleb to say, "Hey, we've got overload on the left side. Let's jump onto that side. Let's balance this out.
We got fucking fire, man. We got fucking fire."
Right. So this is probably a mistake on Samo's in here. Hey, Samo. This is probably a mistake on Caleb first, and then second on Swift. And that's what we've seen all night, is that it's not one mistake, it's 2, and it's on every play.
It's almost like Swift is like, "Oh fuck, I fucked up. I'll go out for a pass. Quick, hit me." I don't have enough time. I'm about to eat my own ass.
Yeah, that was just bad. That's just lack of communication at its finest.
And then Caleb doing Caleb things, man.
Gotta tell you, he is really, really, really shifty in the pocket, isn't he? He can really bug out, but he just doesn't have that Justin Fields speed, does he?
No, and it's a preference. I don't think it's a good or bad thing. I really like the way that Caleb maneuvers the pocket.
Yeah.
I wish he didn't have to, is really my concern.
I know, me too. He's really good at it. It's just when you see him getting going, he's like, "Oh, you're at top speed."
Right. And again, I mean, just the blocking. We had, double team blocks, and I mean, I think this is still a 4-man pressure here, and we've got, Cole commits on a chip block, and Roshan's on a chip block too. How is this pressure? No one's open.
Yeah, man.
It looks like Pryor's getting turned around already.
Pryor seems like he's peaked or something. He's been
against guys who are shifty. He just doesn't have the hands or the hips. I mean, look at this guy just push and pull and inside. Oh, I'm going over here. No, I'm going both up. Psych.
I haven't used that word in a while. Psych.
Right?
Thanks, J2K. I appreciate that, bro. Brought back some memories when I was a kid, man. I appreciate it.
That reminds me of Eddie Murphy, Delirious. I got some ice cream. That bit.
Right.
You didn't get no. You didn't. Get, you want to lick? Psych.
What's up, Bear Truth 9?
What's
up, homie?
My brother in blue.
My SoCal brother.
Yeah, Caleb is pretty shifty, isn't he, Samo?
Shifty.
Here comes our offense. There's our offense moving the ball downfield.
I'm saying.
Look at that long.
Easy.
Lovie Smith's era, we had Devin Hester. In Fluce's era, we have Torrey Taylor.
What was? I guess we'll see it in a little bit. That safety kick was just.
Oh, I've asked so many people like on Twitter, just why was that? What was that? Who thought that was a good idea? I can't find an explanation.
Well, them not understanding the rules, I guess.
Was it that they were trying to get the ball super high in the air, only about 10 yards away, so they could
trying to do an onside kick?
Well, yeah, like onside kick, and they were hoping that the defense wouldn't know you could fair catch that. Every single player on that return field raised a hand to fair catch it.
Right.
You didn't fool a single one of them.
And not only that, the mere fact that Hightower coached under this special team coach, that's where he, I guess, was coaching before. Yep. So you would think that's where he learned it from.
Mm-hmm. Bare truth, if you have not seen my rant from last night, I implore you to do so. Just watch the first 10 minutes of it. It's
No, Bare Truth, don't watch that because he didn't have me on there. So no, don't watch.
I wouldn't have had a rant. It wouldn't have been a rant because you would have tried to talk some fucking sense into me, PJ.
He took this whole show, hour and 45 minutes all by himself. He just was being selfish. Just selfish.
I just took over the whole damn show all by myself.
All by himself.
I have fish and spaghetti all by myself. He went and had the fish and spaghetti all by himself.
taking wrong gaps on that play there. I'll tell you that.
My rant is a lot of what you were talking about right there, Bare Truth. The same damn cycle keeps happening. Rinse and repeat.
And just to let everybody know in the chat, the first half we really did break down the tape on this, but at this point we are, I think, a little exhausted of just calling out how many poor plays there were, and we're just talking over this.
It took us 2 hours to get through a half too, so we didn't want to go for 4 hours. So we figured we'll just try to play this out while we hang out for a bit.
And crack a few jokes.
Yes.
I mean, this is really for anyone that This is also really for anyone that doesn't have the ALL-22 available to them. So at the very least, you could sit and hang out, have a couple laughs with us right now, and watch the second half of this fucking debacle. If you want, I can go on another rant with you, PJ.
Good play by Stevenson there.
You want to talk me out of it? I get it. That's why you did. That's why you weren't on my rant show last night.
That was a great play by Stevenson, by the way. Yeah, I agree with you, J2K. That was a great play there.
I think we did really well holding Harrison to.
Yes.
Hold on a second.
I don't know if he actually get a completion in this game or reception in this game.
He did. I think he had one or two.
One or two, but
I'm glad that you pointed out this play because I was watching this play in real time yesterday, and I got pissed off.
Why?
Because look at what he does after this play. Now, last week you were in a very similar situation, kind of on the same side of the field, maybe like 20 yards a little farther north or south in this case. Over at the fans, jawing your ass off, talking shit while the play is 4 or 5 seconds already going on behind you. And all the shit that happened in the media, all the shit that happened with all the fans calling him out, him getting benched for the first 2 series of the game, him reportedly leaving practice because he wasn't going to start this week, blah, blah, blah. And to me, the kind of person that I am, if I had a game like that last week, I would be so humbled by that I don't care how overexcited that I am that I just stopped a play and basically a fucking blowout. I just would keep this kind of shit to myself right here. And here he is getting all jacked up and amped up, and I get it. It's football. You got a lot of testosterone. You're playing this game. You're jacked up. But I just think that there needs to be a little bit of he needed to be a little bit humbled from last week's game and not be jawing his ass off right here. If you see, I'll try to.
But who was he talking to though?
He's just, I don't know. He was just all just jacked up and talking shit to somebody. You could see him pumping his fists in the air, talking shit to somebody over there. To me, I'm like Barry Sanders in this moment. Not that he has a football in his hand, but you hand the football to the ref, you line back up, right? I don't know. I saw him just jabbing like this, and it just kind of rubbed me the wrong way. I would have preferred that this guy just showed no play like that whatsoever in this game.
I see what you're saying, but see, Brisker does that all the time, and I can't stand it anyway. But I mean,
but Brisker didn't like
poke some guy in the eye through his face mask.
Yeah, and Brisker didn't like possibly cost us a game with just absolute stupidity.
Well, I'm not going to defend Stevenson's actions last game. I don't have a problem too much with this play. He wasn't in the receiver's face.
Right.
You know, he wasn't talking to the crowd. I think he was just I think he was relieved that he made a play for his team and he was pumped up. But
and that's where I'm at.
And like I said before, that he did make a mistake. He was disciplined for it. I want to see how he responds. As long as he keeps his head on his shoulders and he doesn't get too high and mighty, I'll be okay with him going forward. But it's a wait and see with him because he did have problems in college with this very issue.
Right, and that's all I mean by that is just
right for sure.
I wouldn't have done any of that in this game. None of that. I would have gotten up from that play, walked back to the huddle.
Right. Yeah. Walk back to the huddle.
Just because. Yeah. Because of that.
Right.
Yeah.
I hear you, dude. I hear you.
Stephen me saying that this could have easily been a PI too here. If you're looking at this shot right here, it could have been.
Yeah. What do you think about the question that Bear Truth 9 poses?
BCP, would you trade a first-round pick and next year's third for McVay from the Rams?
What do you think, J2K?
No, absolutely not. I don't think trading for coaches is actually valuable.
Really? Wow.
I'm not sure I agree with you on that.
Yeah, that's what I want to say.
What's the last coach that was traded for that was valuable? John Gruden?
Won him a Super Bowl. It worked.
I mean, Did it last long?
It was a Super Bowl.
That was a long time ago. I mean, I don't know how much John Gruden won that Super Bowl. I mean, I thought that team was a lot better than where we're at, and I don't think of McVay as John Gruden back then. I think McVay is a good coach. I just don't. I think it's just so rare that one, coaches get traded for draft picks, and two, that there's enough to show that there's actual value there. Like, it's going to happen every time. Like, is McVay really going to turn around this team minus a first-round pick, next year's first-round pick, and a third? I don't know. Like, it's too many ifs, ands, and buts to that.
I think I might be more inclined to do that. I make that trade for Kyle Shanahan, though. I think Shanahan's a better overall coach.
Yeah. As much as I would hate to do it, I kind of like LaFleur too, but I ain't trying to give Green Bay those fix.
LaFleur?
Lovely.
Stephen Me saying Belichick isn't available or isn't valuable. I mean, isn't he a little old? And isn't he a little not Bear? He doesn't seem like a Bears coach to me.
I mean, maybe as a consultant, I might bring in Belichick, but not as a coach.
Pause it.
As a consultant for our next head coach?
So this is a chop block, right?
This is the safety, right?
No. This is when they actually watch the center.
He went
when
low,
I say
right?
Functional strength is the guy barely gets it out the end zone. Look, watch the lack of functional strength.
There was a penalty on this play that caused.
It's the next play. It's next play. The penalty is.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
On this play, 173 literally blocks nobody, and then 2, the center has no functional strength. See, 73. What are you doing, sir? I'm sorry. What are you doing?
Who the hell
is that?
That's that Corum I was telling you about, the turnstile. He comes in and he just but then when the center is left 1-on-1, he gets pushed backwards, and at the goal line, I mean, come on.
But look at this offensive line right now. Borum, he's probably the third offensive tackle. If you consider Karan being number 2. Jenkins, sure, starter. Shelton probably wasn't intended to be the starter. It probably was Bates. And that's not my opinion. That's kind of a little more of what I've heard. Pryor, backup right guard, and then Cohen, what is he, the 4th offensive tackle, came from the practice squad? I mean, this is a disaster. How can anybody, how can you blame Waldron for bad play calling? Remember when we went through this whole game, or first half at least,
right?
I mean, we saw good play calling. We saw horrible offensive line play.
Yeah.
So where do you separate the two and say, oh no, it's horrible offensive line play, but look how open these wide receivers are. They weren't,
And that's part of the thing I'm saying, though, is the fact that I'm not really mad at Waldron per se. I'm more disappointed in, again, not addressing the line in all this time, and then to speed up the process and go get a quarterback when I could have used some more offensive linemen. That's where I'm at.
Or not even get a vet quarterback to have Caleb sit. And I know that never was going to happen, right?
Yeah.
We're never going to let Caleb sit. But, if that was never going to happen, then why didn't you, do something about the O-line and the free agency you had before you drafted it, So who's the penalty on? Is this on Swift for going low?
Yes.
As a chop block?
Yes, for going low.
What?
Yeah, that was the play, because it's a chop block is what they called it.
Because it's below the waist is what they're saying?
Yeah, below the waist while he's engaged with another player.
Imagine how's he supposed to get leverage.
Imagine what Walter Payton would have. Remember that? Yeah. We all know that play when Jim McMahon came in against the Vikings, and the first play was a touchdown, and Walter Payton just wiped out that blitzer. That was the same damn block as you're seeing right here. a much better block, of course, but similar in style.
Yeah, but that was the call, though.
That is fucking bullshit.
I guess if he would have kept it above the waist, he would have been all right.
And it's
But-
because Jenkins has put his hands on the guy is really
Yeah.
what caused the.
Yeah.
Because that looks like a great blitz pickup by Swift.
Oh, yeah, it would have been fine if Jenkins wouldn't have been touching him.
Right.
And that is above the waist. Right there.
Got part of
His-
his thigh,
his-
man.
His shoulder pads are hitting his hips.
Yeah, kind of got him in the thigh, though.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it is a little low technically, but the guy
Yeah.
is kind of standing up. I mean, it just seems like pretty ticky-tacky call, especially, that penalty is really more reserved for people taking out someone's legs from
Right.
like the side,
Right.
where that injury concern is the issue. I mean,
Yeah, that's what I thought,
I
because
don't like the call.
Yeah, because I'm like Shorty. I thought at first, I'm like, hey, he didn't mean the waistline, but then I'm like, okay, I guess you can consider it the thighs if you want to, but yeah, I don't think you ran the risk of really hurting the guy like the
He
other
wasn't
ones
going at his
was intended
knees.
for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got some chat I want to address here. Let's see. Bear Truth is saying he's got a buddy that's a Niners fan, so they always argue. So he'd say Shanahan would be a better OC than a head coach, and you might be right about that. McVay might be a better head coach to trade for, and I will say that coaching matters, and it really matters more than we think. So I wouldn't necessarily be against a trade like that.
Just got to find the right one.
Yeah. And then there was, I wanted to address your Darnell Wright. Oh, Stephen Me keeps saying again, Darnell Wright, first round pick, Tevin Jenkins, a second rounder. How is that not addressing the offensive line?
Because we have so many holes on the offensive line. Those two guys are solid players, and I give you that. Kevin has fought back from the little injuries he's been getting along the way. And I appreciate that in him, but our left tackle is not the answer. Our center, not the answer. Our right guard, not the answer. So 2 out of 5, 40%, no, we have not addressed it truly. I mean, even in trying to do it with Nate Davis, I made this argument last week on the phone, and it was like, you have an assistant offensive lineman who came from Tennessee. He worked with Nate Davis there. He could have told Poles, hey, if you want to sign this guy, just understand, he don't like to practice.
Mm-hmm.
So that's intel you have on the guy, and you still go sign the guy anyway. Nate Davis was not a good signing. Sorry.
Yeah,
Just
terrible signing.
Yeah, and I would also add that Jenkins has had health issues for a long time.
Yes.
So knowing that, I mean, you're talking about a player, sure, second round pick, but someone that has shown he is not reliable for a full season. What is it? Something like 15 games out of the last 2 years he's missed. I mean, it's nearly an entire season.
Mm-hmm.
And then Darnell Wright, look, I don't want to be a Debbie Downer on the guy. I wouldn't spend a top 10 draft pick on a right tackle. That's just my preference as far as team building. I think he's good. I never saw great in Darnell Wright. I won't go into like my whole scouting report on the guy. And in the draft, there was Paris Johnson and Broderick Jones, who are also offensive tackles. We took Darnell Wright first out of the three. And, I think he's probably the better of the three at this point. We watched Paris Johnson tonight play number 70, who got, whooped quite a few times by Jacob Martin. So I didn't think that was the best draft class to get an offensive tackle. I just think 9th pick overall for a right tackle is pretty rich. So it's not the fix that drafting a top 10 offensive tackle sounds like to the O-line. And the biggest issue that I have is, it's not so much with Braxton Jones or Darnell Wright. I think Braxton Jones is actually very serviceable. It's the interior of the O-line, and that starts at center. And we've been asking for a center for how many years now under Poles?
Yes.
And the biggest issue is that you can have a Braxton Jones be your starting left tackle as long as you're not getting pressure up the center. Braxton doesn't get beat inside. He gets pushed back around the arc. You step up if you can, and you've got a functional pocket, you know? But look what we have. You'll see, Shelton every play. He's pushed back 5 yards. I've seen Caleb Williams stiff arm the back of Shelton being pushed back before he even gets to his plant foot to throw the ball.
Yeah.
This is just insanity. How do you walk into a season with this O-line?
Great point. And
that's how I really feel.
Yeah, the offensive line. Yeah, it's sorry. I just not it.
You make a great point, J2K. Samuel makes a great point here too, saying, I think the Keenan Allen trade was a mistake. It could have yielded us 2 quality offensive linemen, one for the 4th round pick and another with a $20 million cap hit that we took.
100%, Samuel. 100%.
Well, if I can add to that, I'll also add, man, should have kept Darnell Mooney. Would have been cheaper than Allen, and still kept your 4th round pick.
I think Mooney was like out of here. I don't think he wanted to come back. There are players I really wish, James Daniels, David Montgomery. I think they were just like done with the organization. They're like, you know what? I'll probably get a little more money going somewhere else to a better team.
Yeah.
I think Mooney was offered the same contract, and he's like, I'll go to the Lions. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
God, that overload. And the misfire.
I'm actually surprised Mayhem saying Keenan Allen sucks. I'm actually surprised Keenan Allen hasn't missed more games already.
Yeah.
That's just another, I don't know whose fault that is. Sam was saying, I thought this Wright was dominant in college. His coaching staff doesn't allow him to be what he was in college. Jump sets, deep sets, snatch moves, and ghost hands have all gone away.
I thought Wright was very good in college on the right side and in a certain type of way. And I think he's a very good right tackle. I don't know if I see great right tackle. I think there's still, from my judging in college, there was some movement skill issues. I think he's gotten a little bit better with that in the NFL so far. I don't see the power compared to the frame, the size, right? I don't think he's that much of a road grader as a right tackle. I like the pick, and I think that he was a safe pick. Like, Ryan Poles is doing a pretty good job getting guys who aren't just total busts, right?
Right.
Velus Jones might be the only one, but even that, you look at other GMs, and Ryan Poles is doing a very good job getting quality players from his draft picks, 100%. But like the Joe Alt, that came out, I thought he was a very good offensive tackle that I would have loved to have. I don't think he was available by our 9th pick. I'm pretty sure he went earlier to the Chargers.
Yeah, he went to the Chargers, right?
Yeah. And I don't know what to do, because I don't think these type of offensive left tackles, don't grow on trees. You don't get them outside of the top 10. It's pretty rare. I think you're better off, and this is a debate me and Sam have had a very good debate, and I appreciate his insight. You look at Washington, and they went and drafted Coleman out of TCU at a 3rd round pick, and they made him their left tackle. And they went out in free agency, and they signed Tyler Biadasz as the center. Now, how does that work? Your left tackle is a rookie 3rd round pick, but your center is a dominant center who gets your offensive line in the right calls, against the defense. And, your left tackle can let the guy go around the arc, the edge guy go around the arc, the quarterback can step up.
Right.
Braxton Jones can do that, but he can't do that with Shelton as the center. Can't do that with Pryor as your right guard, who's just really unathletic.
Yeah, I think that the issue also becomes marrying the offensive line coach to the offensive coordinator, and I don't think that the play calls that Waldron wants to run is things that Morgan can necessarily block up correctly, and therefore you have that disconnect there. So you got to get
Morgan
them
did
on the
come
same page.
from this scheme.
Huh?
Morgan does come from this scheme, from this coaching tree.
Yeah, but I think because even him and Getsy last year had a little bit of issues. So does he really does a good job of marrying up his blocks with this scheme? I'm not so sure, because it seems like it's been more of a problem than not for him at times. Seemed like he did better when he was here with Nagy than when he was, here with Eberflus.
I'm not even going to get into that. I have zero thought.
Okay, so
Timed that perfectly.
That was perfect right there.
So, okay, but what are the issues that we're seeing? Is it more the run game, or is it the pass blocking game? Because to me, it looks like Swift is struggling with vision, not necessarily that we aren't blocking things up well.
Well, I think some of his vision, but even with the other running backs, not a lot of them are having much success either. Whereas even when you take out the Fields runs previously, he was doing a pretty decent job. I mean, it seemed like the run blocking was doing a little bit better.
Yes, and I agree with that. That's what I've always said, because even though people bring up like, oh well, Justin Fields padded the stats for our run game, go look at Herbert. We didn't have running backs were 3.2 yard average.
Exactly.
We had guys who were like 4 and 5 at times.
Exactly.
So I think that Morgan did show that he can scheme up a good run blocking scheme. I think that we've always had issues of the pass blocking scheme, but it's so hard to scheme up a pass blocking scheme versus a run blocking scheme, right? All you can do is add chip blockers. So really, it's just talent versus talent in pass blocking, and that's where we struggle the most. We can't. I have seen Chris Morgan scheme up run plays that are successful.
Well, I think like with Morgan, not Morgan, Shelton, his functional strength is not there. So him, doing the zone blocking, yeah, he has the movement skills, but he doesn't have the functional strength. Then you have Pryor. He has the functional strength, but he doesn't have the movement skills. So therefore, you're running two contradictory things right there in and of itself. Now, I think Wright can be well. I think Tevin can do well. Braxton, he has his days. Some days, he's good with his run blocking, but that pass blocking is So therefore, what we have is a conundrum of, man, how do we fit the running scheme to go along with the guys we have with the scheme we have? Because like you said earlier, we want to do that outside zone, but then we have two power run guards. So yeah, Tevin can probably do it, not so much Pryor.
Well, I thought that Pryor was actually brought in to be the right tackle. I might be wrong on this. I know that he did play some guard, or he was a backup guard at times, but he came in as right tackle. I don't think that if you look at Davis and you look at his good tape from Tennessee, you see a guy who is athletic and get out there in the zone scheme.
Agreed.
You don't see that from Pryor. So to me, I thought that Pryor was brought in to be a backup tackle for right.
I thought so too.
Play guard, right?
I thought he was. I thought he actually was brought here to challenge Bourne for the right tackle, backup right tackle. I agree with that part.
Yeah,
but because of Davis and his issue, you now move Pryor into that spot, and this is what we have. And that's what I'm
Right.
saying. We have now a powerful, a run power guard. Actually, two of them, but one actually can move, whereas Pryor can't move.
Right. So to me, it goes back to, what's in the toolbox, necessarily the carpenter, right?
Yeah.
And I don't want to sit here and just, overblow, Chris Morgan. I think he's a decent to good offensive line coach, but it's hard to really grade him enough given this O-line that we've seen and the pass blocking issues and just the construction over the last 2-3 years. And until I see that we actually have some talent on the O-line and we're still struggling, then I go after the O-line coach. At this point right now, it's hard for me to just sit here and just say firing him is the solution. I don't think you replace Morgan with another O-line coach and suddenly this O-line starts playing really well. I don't think Shelton suddenly gets functional strength. I don't think Pryor suddenly gets onto linebackers, with the right leverage and all that.
Which takes me back to my point with Poles not addressing that, because again, I thought that what's the guy Jackson Johnson, what's his name? Powers Johnson.
Oh yeah.
He would have been the ideal center for us to get in the second round. I thought he would have been the ideal guy because he had enough weight, enough functional strength, and enough movement skills to do all of that.
Right.
And we, didn't make those moves to make that happen. And I thought I think that was a gift horse looking dead ass.
Where did he end up going, by the way?
To the Raiders.
And he did get injured, so he hasn't played a whole bunch. That was kind of an issue. Zach Frazier's been playing with the Steelers, and he actually looks awesome. Absolutely awesome. I would have been fine with either one.
Yeah.
I think that's the next thing I think that Poles does is he goes and he I hope so. I cross my fingers, please. He goes out and rebuilds this interior O-line. I think Karan is penciled in as competition next year for left tackle, and I would not be surprised if he wins that left tackle job. I know he had a rough game when he came in and he played, but I've watched a bunch of reviews of that game and people, O-line gurus, pointing out the talent that he has. He is oozing with talent. So there is some silver lining and some hope there.
And he's a smart kid. So
and a 100%. Good kid, a very good kid too. Yeah.
So I just think that we're. I think that it's not an impossible task like John Wick had to face, but it's still impossible. I mean, it's a task for us to overcome. For you John Wick fans, the impossible task that he had to do.
Well, gentlemen, going on 3 hours, let's end it with this. We didn't have a turnover.
Caleb hasn't thrown an interception for like 3 games?
4 games?
4 games?
And I'm glad that on the scrambles, he's not fumbling the ball.
It's 5 games, isn't it?
5 games? Something
he
like
didn't throw an interception in the 3-game winning streak, did he?
I don't think so, man.
So.
Yeah.
Like 5 games without a turnover. So we'll see. I mean, that's a positive. Hey, we can take one positive out of this game.
Hey, do you feel better now, Shorty?
I do. I feel a lot better.
Yeah. I think there were some positive out of this game. There was a lot of negatives and a lot of issues to clean up. I do think that we have to look at this game and understand that our entire offensive line was decimated. We had 3 star players on our defense that were out. Gordon, Bricker, and Sweat.
He threw an interception in London.
Oh, okay.
According to Stephen May.
Did he?
Hey, if Steve said it, I'm with him.
I believe you. I believe you, Steve. Good night, Jack Package. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight. Mr. Mayhem, this show is more entertaining than the game.
Well, that says it all right there.
Yeah, we'll come back next week, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're going to continue to do this.
Yeah.
We'll do this breakdown with you guys.
We might move it to a Tuesday though.
Yeah, it kind of depends on when all 22 comes out, but yeah, I wanted to say, Shorty, thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. This has been an absolute blast talking to you guys. PJ, always love talking to you. Always been fun.
Always.
I thoroughly enjoy this. To everybody in the chat, you guys are awesome. I'm always thankful to have you guys around to talk to. So just appreciation to everybody out there, you guys. The great community that Dan has created here. A lot of friends and stuff that we've made, and I appreciate you guys.
And let me just say this now. On a day that J2K may not be able to make it, or myself, Samuel, we might want to have you on, bro. I'm just.
I love that.
Oh, that would be. I'd love to hear what you have to say, Samo. You want to hop on with us for sure? Always love Samo's takes.
Oh yeah. So yeah, I do. I enjoyed this too. So J2K, you are too kind, man. You're just a good dude, man. I mean that sincerely. You're just a good dude, and I appreciate talking with you and talking football with you, man. You're just a good dude.
Thanks,
dude. Absolutely. Thank you, not you. Thank me. I thank you, man. You are awesome, J2K. Everything that you have done to help the channel, I'll just do it right now. Oh, you got some great stuff going on over there, J2K. Helping so many people out in the Bears community. Love it. Appreciate it. You're a great, great friend of the show. You've been here from day one. We appreciate you more than you know, my friend. So thank you. The pleasure is ours.
Awesome. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
And, of course, your football acumen is excellent. That's why we wanted to do this with you, because you've got great, great stuff to say. So
absolutely
appreciate you, my friend.
Well, thank you for giving me a platform to express myself.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you. Scottish Bear, Raging Oracle, Bear Truth 9, Steve, me, Jason UK, Samo,
Mr. Mayhem, Jack Package, Scottish Bell
Package, Scottish Bear, Raging Oracle,
Jason UK,
Tony Moy was in here.
Yes, he was.
Do we get to Mr. Mayhem?
Yes, Mr. Mayhem. Bear Truth 9.
Larry T. Foster. Sorry, I feel like an asshole not having Foster on here with us tonight, but never know if you're like in Wisconsin or Mexico or prison. We never know where you're at, Mo Lester.
Yeah, Mo Lester. I don't know about that. Hey, never know about that, Mo. Never know about that, Mo.
We got a new subscriber as of last night's rant. Alex is my name-o. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight, Alex. Atmos as well.
Leo Factor 1. Appreciate you.
Great to see Leo in here again. Cliff Victoria.
So thank you guys for joining us on this night.
I think we've been boring Cliff lately because he's been in here to say hi and then he leaves.
Hey, he has things on the menu to cook, bro.
Yeah. James Ford.
Yes.
Was it Brian Brendan? It's on here too.
Bearski wasn't here though.
Bearski, thanks for hanging out with us. We love and appreciate you guys. You guys are the reason why we do this. So thank you very much for hanging out with us tonight on another. We like to do this while there's other football games going on, I guess, don't we? Mondays and Thursdays.
Well, yeah.
We're just trying to test your loyalty.
That's all. That's all we need.
We've got the British Bears coming up tomorrow at 4:00 Eastern time. I can't wait to hear what they have to say. Those British blokes. Jason UK is one of them. He'll be here tomorrow with Chris Watts.
Yes.
And I believe Foster, unless he's mad at us for not inviting him on here tonight with us. And after that, we'll see you again this Thursday at 9 p.m. for our normal Thursday night show on Bears Country Podcast. I feel a lot better after my rant last night and hanging out with you guys. So thank you guys very much for that. Appreciate it.
Absolutely.
I guess I could end this on a normal 1, 2, 3 Bears then, if you want. I feel a little bit better.
Yeah, you feel better now?
I feel a little bit better, yeah.
All right, okay. Well, as long as you feel better, man. That's all I care about. That's all I care about.
All right, we'll see you guys tomorrow at 4 o'clock Eastern time for the British Bears, and after that on Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern time as well. You guys have a great night on a 1-2 tree.
Be blessed.
Bears.
Bears.
Bears.